What this video needs is more ether band. Ether band is a term I smithed to account for the manifold miraging effects observed over distance, whether terrestrial or aquatic. Aether simply refers to the air and all its constituent elements which compose its nature. Band refers to that area of 3D space which contains the observation being made. This band can be as broad as the entire field of view or a smaller, isolated section. The aether band is the cause of every minute and alternating effect under the broad category of mirage. That is, fata morgana, inferior mirage, or superior mirage, or any other optical or atmospheric distortion or refraction or whatever the hell happens out there. What this video needs is more ether band.
I don't know what the hell just happened with that. Hello, what ho? Welcome back to another exciting adventure of The Plain Truth. I'm your host, Travis Finley. That was interesting. I have no idea why that just cut off in the middle of the intro. Guess serendipity wanted me to be on my toes, I suppose. So let's see what does this look like?
What this video needs is more ether band.
I'm just trying to see what the hell happened. Huh. Alright, it is what it is. It is what it is. How's it going out there, everybody? Thanks for being here. Neil Williams Cleary, SE Montreal, Wide Awake, or David if you prefer. And yeah, so here we go. I am going to just open the Zoom because I am so tired, man. I tried to take a nap. I fell asleep for a little bit, then I woke up and it was just like a little tiny napper, and yeah, I felt like I got enough rest, but then like an hour ago I just started to crash, and so what I'm quiet. Hello? Check. Oh, I know why. I gotta check. I gotta change my mic. I put my mic on a lower register to do a video earlier, and so that's what that is. That should be good. That should be good. So there's the link out there for you guys, and let's see. I'll play the chime. Chimey chime. My opening Anacapa footage. Everybody drink. I don't know why. It should have lasted 7 minutes, but it is what it is. So I was past 2 hours. I was working on a new video to try to step up the game because Sky Free put out a fantastic video earlier today. And so I did some monologuing for 10 minutes, pretty much nailed it right at 10 minutes, stopped it, and then started to edit the narrative with some footage, and that just takes a long time. So let's get you guys in here, let's get you guys talking, and all that kind of good stuff. I went outside to stretch my legs a little bit before the show, and it just looked absolutely beautiful outside, and I was like, oh, I should go take pictures, but I've got a show that's supposed to start at 7 o'clock, but look at how beautiful it looks. I bet you that it's because I took pictures earlier today, and I took pictures yesterday. The tide was up on the Susquehanna River, and so I didn't get down into the water. I have waders that I put on, but the water was nice, and I just didn't feel like getting in the water. So I took the observations from the 10-foot viewer height. It's probably not even 10 feet. It's probably like 7, maybe 7. But Google tells me it's 10 feet, but I disagree with Google's. So, you guys gonna make me carry this? Carry this show all by myself? And hopefully we'll get some ballers, get some globe flakes in here, because they were all balling me out on Jose's today. So I said, come on guys, I'll do a show and you guys can come on over. So see if anybody shows up, and all that kind of good stuff. So you guys need to get in here. This is not the Travis Finley show. What's going on, Haley? Welcome to the show. Here we go. We got our first caller. We got our second caller. Do your own mic checks, gentlemen. Just say hello when you get in.
Hey, can you hear me, Travis?
I got you loud and clear there, David. Sounds great, man. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Okay, good. What have you been up to today?
Oh, taking it easy. I was up till like 1 o'clock in the morning out on Hernando Beach Islands doing a bunch of video filming and time lapses.
So you went out to the island?
Yeah, they're Hernando Beach Islands.
Okay. And I don't recall, have you done a lot of observations from there? I know that you set up on your spot there on the shore and shoot out towards the Hernando Beach Islands, right?
Yeah. I've been out there to the Hernando Beach Islands quite a bit, shooting the Hudson condos that are, 10.84 miles away.
Did you get some good observations today?
Oh, I got, last night it was mirroring very heavily. When I take that and compare it to some of the other days that I mean, last night was a real low tide, so we got stuck out on the island till about 1 o'clock in the morning. But even with the tide being real low and my camera height being low, but I was just getting a lot of mirroring, and I've been out there before on a high tide with my camera lower to the water because of the higher tide, and you can pretty much see the land that the condos sit on.
Yeah. Yeah, so that would be something along the lines of the category of looming, I would think, from the heliocentric model.
Yes.
Because, what you normally do not see is visible, so the only reason why it would be visible is because refraction is bringing it up to you. How would you assess that from your perspective? Not considering it looming, how would you work through explaining the difference to somebody?
Well, again, I've been out there multiple times and gotten multiple differences in my observations, even at a higher, taking my tripod and putting it all the way up to the 5 feet on a low tide and still getting the same mirroring, magnification, displacement, and I'm pretty sure displacement happens. I mean, you can set a glass of water in front of you and watch the background change, and it's a drastic, not only does it magnify it, but it does pull it downward too, because anytime, of course, you magnify an object, it magnifies all the way around the object, right? Not just the object above. It pulls down too.
Yeah. So your normal, right? There's something that is more typical, more prevalent in the observations, which I would say is going to be an inferior mirage with the mirroring.
Yes.
Yeah. So the mirroring, the inferior mirage that you would capture on those conditions and on those observations, that is what is preventing you from seeing the shoreline.
Yes, and I agree. I was watching something that you just did recently, and you were explaining some stuff pretty good, except for the drawings that somebody was using. You were right, though. Their drawings did not match to the reality that we would see, because it would be bigger and not the same size. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the trick of those observations, because there's not just one dynamic happening. There's not just one effect, and it's such a tricky. You can't. Trying to think of. I think I said.
You can't pin it down to one explanation, right? I mean, it's a magnitude. It's a combination. Because I've seen where the boats are close or appear closer, but yet my visibility is nice and clear, and you can see everything sitting in the water, but it's obvious that on a different day things are further back, and the objects are smaller, but still even more clearly in the water. And then I've had days where I could see much further, but everything was distorted. You've been out there where you've had heavy distortion, but you had, you were able to see a long distance, but everything was just distorted.
Yeah.
And I hate those days, because I try like heck to focus and focus and focus.
Yeah.
And I get really kind of like ticked off, because I'm like, I'm doing everything I can to focus this, and it ain't happening. even though I can see like bird racks that I shouldn't be seeing.
Yep. Yep. SE, how you doing?
Good evening. Doing well. Doing well. How you guys doing?
I am tired, but I'm here. Did you do any observations today, SE?
Today, no, but yesterday I caught Saturn.
And did you?
I filmed Saturn.
Did you put that up yet?
Oh yeah, it's up.
Okay, all right. I'll have to check that out.
It was easy. It was only 1.2 billion kilometers away. I mean,
Oh, I love it when it's that close.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
By the way, Wide Awake has some seriously good vids on this channel. He's being modest.
I know. He is. He's got
the one that he did there with the sun. Have you seen that one, Travis?
I think that I did. I mean, I've seen so many of his. But
that one is not to be missed. That one is awesome. Ranty is gonna love that one. Wide Awake.
I have. Wow. You should see some of the sun videos I do have where the sun practically just goes flat on the bottom, and you never really see it break the surface. It just kind of just morphs and squashes down, and then it just goes to that vanishing point. But I had one that I found that I really wanted to upload because it was like the never-ending sun. I mean, it just stayed there and stayed there and stayed there. And even somebody that was in the background that was out at Pine Island even said, wow, he goes, man, that seemed to last a long time.
I'm sure you're familiar with Ranty, of course.
Yes.
You should collaborate with him, bro. You guys are up the same alley, just like Travis here.
I have tried to contact with Ranty. We even hooked up through Skype and haven't heard a thing from him. And I've tried to message him several times, and I just can't get through to him, I guess.
Next time I'm on the show, I'll make sure he hears the message, because you got some awesome sun stuff.
Yeah, and so he's doing a lot more with that. He's changed a bit of his focus right now and is working on a theory that he has for the sun. He and I have talked a couple of times, and I think I aired one of my Skype calls with him, and it's pretty interesting. I think that he's onto something. If he's right, it's pretty important, I think.
Oh yeah. How did he call it? Something set? Glare set.
Glare set. Yeah.
Shout out to Ranty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's my thing too, Travis, on the sun. Because I do pay a lot of attention to it. On certain days, if you have a clear sky with no clouds on the horizon, even after the sun supposedly sets, right? I just call it a sun departure because it's just departing our line of sight, our view. But you can still see clouds on the western or eastern horizon, still lit up, real close to the horizon. I mean, real close down to the ground. Now, how in the world is that light getting there? I mean, even my anti-crepuscular rays videos, and I've got quite a few of those. How is that light hitting the opposite side? Especially, I'm always looking at, well, if I can see the sun for 12 hours out of the day, I'm seeing the sun, pretty much come up over a flat earth and stay in my sky for 12 hours half the day before it diminishes my line of sight. And, a lot of people they say that the sun ain't circling. There's a lot of division as far as that goes. And hey, I have no problem with, people having their own opinion. But to me, it's kind of obvious. For myself, it's a circling sun, not think about a tether ball. real low to the ground, and you're really tiny, like a little ant. So it's going to get to a point where you won't see it going away from you, but it will maintain its size because it's really not going anywhere. The only difference is that the horizon at each end, it will change its size, and it does diminish at certain times. Very obviously, it's actually just vanishing within its own reflection, the Raleigh's criterion. That's pretty prevalent in my eyes. But that light stays in our sky way too long for it to be going over a curve. And then, if that was the case, shouldn't I see a big, like moon? I mean, half, like a arced shadow being projected.
Yeah. Good point, bro. Yeah,
Earth.
in the sky, sort of like a bat signal.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah, I'm trying to find something right now. I want to run by you guys. I thought about it earlier this week, so you guys keep talking. I'm just looking for.
I have a question for Wide Awake. Have you ever, first of all, actually done the 15 degree per hour thing? I think you spoke on it on your video, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you brought it up. But I've really never sat down and like timed it. But I see when it gets to the horizon, and this is funny, because I've seen the sun look like it drops like a rock, and then I've seen it where it looks like it just lingers. And usually when
exactly. That's my whole point. To me, it doesn't seem as if it's moving that quick. I never actually timed it. That's why. Sorry about that. That's why I'm asking. I never actually timed it myself.
Yeah, it's hard to get a exact timing on it, but I know I go by an app on my phone of when it's supposed to set, and that one particular day, I think it was almost 2 minutes later than what my phone said, and usually my phone's pretty accurate on it. But certain days, and I say it's always the days where you get really, really good visibility, and my horizon's not being cut off as close to me. You know how you get the mirroring where it's really obvious the mirroring is real close to you on those real heavy days of mirroring. And then other days that mirroring's like, 10 miles away and not 2 miles away.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. Yeah. Another question, a quick. Have you ever shot?
Let me say something just real quick. I'm sorry, Essie.
Sure.
Just to say that Chris Berry said that he did some measurements of the sun's transit, and he got more like 12 degrees an hour. So just
really,
yeah.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
Well, also, I think on that, Travis, it would depend on where you're at, right? Located at on the flat plane.
I don't know. Go ahead, Essie.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Wide Awake. Have you ever taken shots of the sun using a solar filter?
Yes.
And you have?
Yes.
Okay. Was it a dedicated solar filter or an ND filter?
I've actually used two ND filters, two ND1000 filters before. Actually,
really?
That's what I used when I was filming. What was it? Mercury transiting the sun. I don't know if you saw that video, but I used two ND 1000 filters.
Oh, really? Can you tell me how they would compare to? I have an ND 420. How would that compare? I imagine the 1000 is more.
Oh yeah,
is that how it works?
Darker. It's much darker.
It's darker, right? Okay. I'm really anxious. I'm really gonna have a look. The reason why I asked you is because I filmed the sun a couple of times with the ND 420, And look, it could be artifacts, I don't know, but I noticed these white things flying around. First, I thought it was around the contour of the sun, but then I noticed them closer to the camera. Now, could that be like artifacts? What do you think?
You know, I get a lot of that too. Where, well, I tell you, when I'm at Pine Island or even at Bayport, where I do a lot of filming, you know, we get these little gnats that bite the shit out of you. And on days where I'm not getting eat up by the gnats, I don't see those little flickers flying around the sun. But on those days where I got the gnats biting the crap out of me, man, there's things flying all over the place in my videos. And I tell people that, you know, some of these bugs, if they're up close or even a little further away, they can reflect the light and basically look like something, you know, flying by. I've seen dust too do the same thing in my camera, and I'm actually looking over my camera, and I see it. I see the dust particles in the air, or I should say pollen particles, because you know, Florida at certain times of the year we get some heavy pollen, and I literally see it because you're like zoomed up on it, and it's going past your lens, and if it reflects any light, it's going to give you this, I don't know, like a UFO flying by. And I've seen that in other people's videos where they claimed it was some kind of UFO or something. And I'm like,
oh no, this is definitely not a UFO. You know what I thought it I don't know, you gotta see it, bro, before I make any comments, because it looks really weird, you know. It's not flies, it's not bugs, it's nothing like that. It's like odd shapes. Some of them look like little tiny balls, and you see they're traveling in a uniform line. Then you see these other things. They look like wing-shaped things, and other blob things. You got to see it, bro.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw one of mine a long time ago. I posted, you know, what are these, and I wanted to get people's opinion. Well, I went back to that same field and was filming again, and come to find out, it was dragonflies, mosquitoes, all kinds of bugs that I was picking up, because when I backed off and I started focusing in on what was closer to me, and yeah, there was bugs, dragonflies. I even watched.
You have that on your site? You have that on your site?
I don't think I ever posted the one when I went back, but I literally got a dragonfly eating a little gnat out of the air.
Okay, I gotta look at your stuff because this is freaking me out. Okay, I'm gonna reserve judgment.
That sounds a little bit like the time I caught the shark jumping.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I think I got one like that too. It jumps and it spins, it twists.
Yeah, mine didn't twist, but it broke. It breached the water the full length of the body, and I think it probably was a juvenile shark. When I was in California this last month, my grandmother was telling me that there was an article in the local paper where they were talking about how they have been monitoring the water in that area with drones and helicopters, and they are taking video footage of great white juveniles,
wow,
swimming right underneath the surfers as they are, you know, waiting for their sets to come in and catch waves. And the article said that you know, the surfers were completely unaware that they had these great white sharks underneath them, but the article said, didn't seem to, you know, really care what was above them at that time. So, but I heard that back in January. I'm sure if you've heard it on one of my streams where I said that this bodyboarder came out of the water and he said, "Hey, did you catch that picture of that shark?" And I said, "What shark?" And he was telling me about it, and he said, "Yeah, there's a reef out there and there are great white sharks." And I said, "You guys are insane. There is no way I would get out into the water if there were great white sharks. No
neither would I.
Way. No way."
Hey, did you see the one where I've got the dolphins jumping out of the water? And it's in a mirroring zone, so as the dolphin jumps out, you see the the mirror image underneath. It almost
Oh yeah.
You've seen SeaWorld where they got the dolphin jumping and one looks
Oh yeah,
like
sure, yeah.
It looks just like that in a couple of spots, but they were jumping all around this one boat, and I was catching them, and it was pretty awesome. I don't know, there was 4 or 5 jumps where they come out of the water, and the mirroring effect really made them stand out, and make it look really cool.
Yeah, I put up a dolphin video this last month as well. I caught some. What's interesting though is that I could hear them talk from at least 2.5 miles away, at least, and that blew me away. So, but it looked like they were feeding. It looked like they had corralled a school of fish and they were just like thrashing all around. But I did get a couple of them jumping out of the water. I had one that actually did a somersault, but I was zoomed in so much that it was off frame. But I saw it with my naked eye, but I don't think I caught it with the camera. So just real quick, just going to shout out from the bottom up. Matrix Media is in the house. Neil Williams, Haley, Helvetica Bold. Gotta like that font. Jimbo. Sky Free, welcome to the show, Sky Free, and the link is out there. I'll put it in again in case it is past your ability to scroll up. Haley is out there, Cleary is out there, and Neil Williams, I think I said. Frank, is out there. John Zizlugic is out there, and let's see. That's I don't see any globe flakes out there at all, even though I had a huge warm welcome on Jose's today and said you guys are more than welcome to join the open panel and carry this conversation. So
shout out to Sky Free too.
Oh yeah,
great work. Yeah,
for sure. SE, did you stick around more in the Jose show? What else happened?
Not really. I was in and out on the show. I didn't really catch all of it.
Okay. Smurfer Girl, whatevs. Just
one more question, if I could.
Yeah, go with
boring, it. Technical, geeky lens question. Wide awake, bro. The 420, will it damage the P900 if shot directly to the sun?
Actually, no, because I've taken my camera directly to the sun.
Yeah, I've done that too,
without a filter on it or anything. Just I've even got some sunspots with no filter on it at all, just turning down the lighting, the light settings, and got some really neat sunspots.
Come on, seriously?
Oh yeah. Little filtering with the clouds, but yeah, you see them stand out like a sore thumb.
Okay, and I was worried. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I actually, sorry, David. I've actually done that as well. I've filmed the sunrise without a filter, the sunset without a filter. I don't believe that I've ever shot the sun when it's above 45 degrees without a filter. But I did notice that the solar filter that I did buy had a glare image that's still on it when I shot the sun at a higher degree than dawn or dusk. And but anyway, all of that to say, I haven't damaged my cameras by doing early morning or late afternoon with just the naked lens.
Yeah, and if you try to do it during the middle of the day, I mean, really, it's just too much light. Even with turning the lighting down on the camera, if you're going to do it in the middle of the day, I would suggest probably putting a filter on it. Otherwise, you're not going to see nothing but white light. But I don't think you'd hurt your camera. I mean, I bought a warranty on mine, so I didn't care. I was zooming in, and I figured if it burned it out, I was going to get a new one anyhow.
Okay, I got really scared because I thought maybe I damaged it or something. Woo!
Did you buy a warranty?
Thank you for that. Sorry?
Did you buy a warranty with your camera?
No, I did not. No.
Yeah, well, if you ever buy another one, look at the warranty packages. Some of them are, I can't remember the exact one, but it's like a pre-exchange where either they give you your money back to where you can buy exactly what you paid for the camera, and you can go turn around and go buy another camera or buy a different camera if you want, but they give you your full amount back except for the warranty cost.
Okay, thanks. I'll look into that.
Yeah. Yeah, any more, if I ever buy another camera, I'm making sure I buy the warranty. It's well worth it because with my P900, I had issues with it. I took it to Ireland, and some lady, when we were on the plane, I had it around my neck. She like slammed me into the wall as we were getting off the plane.
Why?
And, yeah, and
what did you do to her?
Nothing. She was just trying to be pushy. But when I was in Ireland, I'm using it, and it started all malfunctioning stuff. So when I got back to the States, I took it back to Best Buy, and I said, "Hey, what are you going to consider this thing a lemon?" This is like the third time or fourth time I was bringing it in for repair, and the guy goes, "I'll give you $5.99 for it now," and I was like, "Well, all right, then put it towards the P1000." So he worked it all out, and I had to pay another, it was like $600, but that included the warranty too.
Nice, sweet.
3-year warranty on it. So, and that's if anything happens to it. If you drop it, if it falls over on your tripod, they still cover it.
Wow.
If they fix it, they give you money back.
I wish I knew that when I got it.
Yeah, I had bought both mine refurbished, so I don't know if there was a warranty on those or not. There might have been, but
yeah, I think you can still buy one. I don't think you can get the full 3-year, but they probably give you 1 or 2 on it.
Yeah. Huh. Well, Sleeping Warrior contacted me and said that he had changed out the infrared filter on his. He took it out himself. He said it was a pretty tedious task and very, very meticulous, but he took it out himself. So he converted his P900. I think I'd have to go back and see what he said. I think he said you could put it back the way that he did it. You could set it back and make it factory. The factory settings again.
You know what I also shot the other day?
Tell us.
You won't believe it, but it's really bad. I shot the ISS.
Oh yeah, I heard you saying that on one of the shows.
But I couldn't focus it for the life of me, and it's embarrassing to show a shot like that. It just looks like a big blur.
Yeah.
Crossing the sky.
Right.
Yeah, I bought these for you, SE. I had bought these infrared lenses for my P900 that I thought would, these are infrared. I can just put it on there and get infrared images. No. They didn't work worth a crap unless you were like zoomed right in on the sun. But they worked. They almost worked better than the Indy 1000. It just
really an infrared.
Yeah. And I bought like, I don't know, I think there was like 6 of them with different amounts of infrared. I forget what they call it. But one was like a 750, a 950, and then they had a couple other lower ones, and I think there was even 1 or 2 higher. But they worked good for shooting the sun. So what I did was I bought the step down rings so I could use them for my P900 or P1000, so I could step it down to to fit those. Otherwise they were just, I bought them for nothing, I guess. But I do have some P900 stuff I'll probably sell, get rid of, because I really don't have a use for it. So anybody interested, I'd get rid of them for a really good price.
Well, there's somebody out there in the chat that just said that he wants one. That's Neil Williams. I want a P900, so maybe you and Neil can touch base. But I feel like the observations that I make, I need at least 4 more cameras.
Yeah, I was filming with 3 cameras last night.
And then there's Heath Carmody, who uses at least 2 or 3 different video cameras on his shoots.
So, well, excuse us newbies.
Yeah. You guys got to step it up. Come on.
Well, I got the P1000, and then I bought the B700 when I was in Ireland because my P900 went out. And I wish I wouldn't have, because when I got back to the States, I found out that Nikon won't warranty shit on it because it's made over there. I'd have to actually send it to Ireland to get it repaired and then have it sent back. So it's like
the P900 you've got to send to Ireland.
No, the B700.
Oh, okay.
Because I bought it over there, and it's made by it's still made by Nikon, but a different department, so they won't warranty it here in the United States. I did get them to fix it once, but they said after that they wouldn't fix it again. And then I've got the Sony infrared camera. What is it? I got the box that's sitting here. It's the HDR CX405. I mean, it's not an expensive one. It's fairly cheap, but it does pretty good for certain things.
Yeah.
So I like it, especially if you don't zoom in too far, because I found if you zoom in too far, it wants to go in and out of focus on any kind of flashing lights. It will, just constantly go in and out of focus on flashing lights. And I've tried all kinds. I mean, I'm not really that good with it yet. I think I still have to figure some things out, some of the settings and whatnot. But I think it's a great camera for, short distance shots, not the long distance shots like with the P1000.
That's a beauty. I have a question for you. I think I'm doing something wrong. On the manual shoot, you can zoom in and then you can find adjust on the little thing on the left, the little lever up and down.
Yes.
Mine seems not to be working. What's going on here? Am I doing something wrong?
Yeah, you might have changed the settings to where you got to use the little wheel around where it says OK. There's a wheel there. You might just need to spin that wheel left and right to adjust the auto.
Where you snap, you mean? Where you snap the picture?
No, when you look at the camera, it says OK.
Oh, okay, right. Really? Oh, yeah. On that one. Okay.
Yeah, that right there also will work as because that's what I use my B700 to focus it.
Oh, I didn't know that. That would be easier, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I don't think you move the camera quite as much, because I can reach up there and just barely touch it and spin it around.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Thanks for the tip. Okay.
I am looking for a contrast photo right now, so I'm a little bit distracted. Let's see. Amanda Young is out in the chat. Haley's still there. Jimbo, Neil Williams again, and I think Peace, Love, and Warrior is new to the show tonight. Constance is out there, and I saw Terry Davies. So you guys, welcome, and I'll put the link out one more time. If we don't get anyone coming in for an invigorating conversation, I might just keep it short tonight, because like I said before, I'll be tired. So let me see if I can find this contrast video, or this contrast image that I found with one of my platforms. I don't know.
Yeah, SE, you did. You said you did. What was it, Saturn? You were shooting.
Yes,
Saturn.
I did Saturn and Jupiter. I cut the 4 moons.
Yes, yes. I don't know if you saw my one Jupiter video. Somebody said, "Hey, is that a crater?" I never knew Jupiter had a crater, and actually, what I think it was one of the moons in front of Jupiter, because there was this big black dot on it. And you know, after looking at it a couple of times, I'm going, yeah, you know what? That could have been one of the moons or something in front of it, or maybe a different object in front of it. But when you're shooting the wandering stars, you really play around with your light settings. I even used the incandescent and fluorescent settings, and man, it was pretty awesome. That's how I got it.
Where in the camera, you mean?
Yeah, when you go to your settings, you know, you go to where your light settings are.
Yeah, Dave.
Okay, I didn't even know we had that.
Yeah, SE, you and I need to have a tutorial with Dave showing us how to do.
Oh yeah, I'm a newbie at this. I mean, I've only had it for months.
Yeah, but he's even talking about stuff that I don't even know about.
Yeah, you go into the white balance, and when you hit, you get the white balance, you hit OK, and then it'll take you to daylight, incandescent, fluorescent, and I'm always putting that setting in a low setting if I'm doing the stars, because it does take a lot of that brightness out, and you get more detail of the object.
Oh man, good. I was looking for somehow to do that. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah. So it takes the glare away. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it takes a lot of that bright light away, for sure.
Beautiful. Yeah. Because even I find sometimes the moon, believe it or not, it's so freaking bright where I am that you zoom in on it and all you get is like a white milk.
Yeah.
You got to use those light settings to bring it down. Even the compensation exposure will help bring it down.
Okay. I got to start exploring the camera a little bit more.
Yeah, and you have
I'm ready.
Active D-lighting too. You either can put it on high, medium, low, or off. And that
say again, which one? Say again.
It's the active D-lighting.
Okay.
So look for that in your light settings, or in your settings of the camera itself.
Will do. And I guess you gotta flick it back when you go to normal, right? Or when you reset the camera, it goes back to standard, or it stays on the last setting. How does it work?
No, it stays on the last settings that you put it on, and you got to make sure when you get to that setting that you hit the OK, to make sure that when you hit OK, you're taking that setting and you're putting it on the camera.
Okay.
Guys, if you could see the screen,
nice.
I have 2 images of the same platform. They're off by about 500 millimeters. The one on the left is not zoomed out, though. I think the one on the left was like in the 70 millimeter range, and the one on the right is 124. But this is the same basic shot, and you've got this channel marker. Can you see that little white channel marker right there?
Sure can.
Okay, so over here, I'm gonna pan over. You can see it right here.
Yep.
So it would be tricky to try to get this all scaled up, but basically the one thing that you can tell is look how high this post is, whatever this is, and then look how small it is here.
Yep.
And then look how stretched out this part is here, and then how small it is here. And then the marker is in front of the horizon. And this one looks like it's sitting right on top. You know, just these interesting little nuances. You know,
and those are the details that I look for too, Travis.
Yeah.
When I'm looking at mine, I'm looking at where this visible water line is in comparison to everything else, and also in some of my other videos. and I look at the one on the right as being way more compressed. The water itself is compressed.
How would you? I'm not sure I understand what you mean by that. Can you develop that a little bit?
The picture on the left, you see where your marker is in the water, right? You see water beyond it.
Right.
Well, I actually think that you would see even more water beyond it.
Oh, no, I agree. Yeah, I agree with you there. Sure.
Yeah. So that water isn't being as compressed as it is on the right-hand side. That water is being more compressed, but because your oil rig is farther back, it's getting it's going through more dense air.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's going to change its size.
Yeah.
And that stretching, I don't know, what is it, Miramax? They start out some of their movies with these buildings that they kind of stretch and then they go down and stretch and go down. I don't know. It's like part of the intro to their movies.
Yeah, I can't remember that.
Yeah, that I see that I see that a lot when I do watch some movies.
Yeah.
And I always want to take that little clip out and use it to show that this stretching is not really pulling something up, because I think the real object is at its highest height. It's actually stretching down and up, down and up.
Yeah, so what I noticed back in January with all the 17 days of footage that I've only gotten through 5 days, I think I remember seeing these markers, and I could see them spaced out. I've maybe caught 4 of them, so I could see along the lateral horizon a few different of these markers. So it would be, I think, reasonable to find where these are to know if they're fixed, what kind of lead the tether has, if they move around. But you can kind of see that these were both taken from the same month. I think this was a couple of days apart, but regardless, they seem to be within the vicinity of the platform without too much deviation. And then this boat that you can see right here is moving away. I've got a video of this boat where I'm following it the whole time, and it's moving away, but you can constantly see the prop spray and the bow spray the whole time. So this is beyond this, whatever this line is here.
Yeah, I watched that video where you were showing that.
However far away that is.
Right. The boat wake.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So I've got a comment twice here. One by Gary Wabenga. If you back off the zoom. Okay, let me ask you first, Gary. Are you talking about the images that I have up here? So which one? Are you talking about the right or the left? If you back off the zoom, you will see the bottom of the ship seem to disappear simply because of the angle. Okay, I don't know if he's just talking in general or not, but he's talking about the Rayleigh criterion. Okay. Skyfree says, can you post the link? You betcha. Here it comes.
Good. Yeah, I like Skyfree doing these micro.
Oh yeah, fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. Meticulous. I think they did a fantastic job with their editing.
Oh, excellent. And everything that they show matches real observations.
Yeah.
I mean, our boat it matches it.
No doubt. Such good stuff. And I really appreciate the 4-panel that they set up with the real life observation of a ship, and then their replication with their boat on their pond. I'm not sure if they would call it a lake or not, but yeah, absolutely. So I was motivated today to try to step up my game with a video today. I got about halfway through it when 7 o'clock rolled around, so I had to put the brakes on that, but I want to get back to that for sure and get that finished. I'm trying to find a video that I was going to show you guys.
Yeah, too bad Skyfree wouldn't join. I'd really like to.
No, I think Skyfree took you to. Oh, I'm sorry. I sorry about that, Skyfree. I need to. There we go.
Post that link.
I need to post. Yeah, I thought I still had the link but copied, but it was a video. It's a good video nonetheless. And I'll show it if we get around to it. I wanted to ask you guys a question. There you go. I think Travis is playing a trick on me. He just keeps sending me to this video. Alright, where is this? I think it's right here.
I keep having to scroll down on the chat because it doesn't seem to be working automatically. I don't know what the heck. I've never had that happen. Because I was like, why ain't I seeing all these other people talking? Now I see clearly. Which, hey, clearly, what happened? We were supposed to. You were going to have me on your live stream, but I never got a message from you.
You hear that, Cleary? All right, take note.
Bad boy, Cleary. He has good stuff. Wide awake.
Whatever could you mean, Constance? Travis equals troll. I don't understand what that means. It doesn't make any sense. All right, let me see if I can find this shot. I was watching this.
You're a flat Earth troll. You troll globe channels.
Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Okay, so I was trying to one of the things that I was thinking through, because I've got video of the channel where the commercial tankers go up and down the Channel Islands, and I believe that the southbound lane is closer to me, and the northbound lane is farther away, because I was taking note of the northbound lanes had different scales to them, so that would I've got to go back and watch footage of both of those things. Okay, so Skyfree is downloading Zoom, and let's see if my download finished, and I will play that in the meantime. Let's see. Here we go. So I got this footage of sunrise here on the Chesapeake, and I was thinking about it.
Hey, that's a moon.
Yeah, that was the moon. If I go back, I'll go back. I'll show you that again. Let me see. This is Venus, and it was up in the trees, so I just decided to do that contrast. I think. Oops, I went back too far.
Travis, you using the P1000?
No, just the 900. I have two 900s. I want to say, I guess that could be the moon. I don't remember anymore. But I thought that was a cool contrast, just the different depths of the branches in front of the moon. I like that.
I do too.
All right, so we're gonna get to the sunrise here in Chesapeake, and let me ask you guys. Okay, so can you guys see the screen right there?
Yep.
Okay, so over to the right is the darker part of the morning, and over to the left is the dawn. Okay.
Oh, that's cool, bro.
Right? So here, I'm gonna get to a spot real quick.
That's freaking cool, bro.
So to me, I'm just trying to, if we think about the propagation of light, to me this demonstrates a limitation to light. Right?
Yep, you can clearly see it there. Doesn't travel forever, if that's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, bro.
And I didn't.
Good example.
I didn't think about it.
Why can't we see the sun? Because it's too freaking far away. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, and can you imagine what those? What are those, like little mountains or hills in the background?
Yeah.
Land masses.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine how much area that blocks out? I mean, if you take a Coke can, right, and you set one out in your driveway, and then you take 20 other Coke cans and put them behind them, well, that first Coke can would block them all out, right? I mean, that's just perspective alone, how much that landmass will block out beyond it. That's like my power plant videos. The little landmass that sticks up is at about 3 to 4 miles away. It should not even allow me to see the Crystal River power plant at all, but yet I can see quite a bit of it. Matter of fact.
So the thing that I'm thinking about is the terminator line, right? Because if we think about looking at this, if the ISS were up where it is, 250 miles above, they would see a terminator line.
Yep.
So there's no terminator line here, in my opinion. We just got this blending, this transition zone. You know, I don't know. Just thinking through shit.
No, that's very well said. Or we're supposed to believe that light travels forever, right? As in radio waves, they say that the I Love Lucy show is somewhere out in, I don't know, who knows where, some Martian or some is gonna, right, sure. Nothing travels forever.
No, all light has its limits.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's the way I see that sun. Its light is limited.
Oh, that's a nice capture there, Travis.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Nice.
I get, like I said, I've got to try to figure out what David was talking about with that wheel and changing that.
Yeah, I got to figure that out too. Yeah.
Here's the other thing. Right now, you can see the outline of the moon, and the thing that I was thinking about was if the explanation as to why we can see that part is because of Earth shine, but if the Earth and the moon are sharing the same terminator, there's no light on, in my mind, if you think about the abstract angle that we're looking at, there's no light on the side of the Earth that would be reflecting up to the moon, in my opinion, because both the moon and the sun at this point share the same terminator line because they're both the same, well, not the same distance, but what am I trying to say?
To be honest with you, this has always puzzled me. It still puzzles me how that shadow. Now, the only thing that kills it is when we see the moon and the sun at the same location, right? And we have the eclipse. That's what kills that. You guys still there?
Yeah. Yep. I'm just thinking through stuff. The only thing for me again is the suggestion that Earth shine, again, that to me is just a concept, right? There's no one has ever observed and measured this from between Earth and the moon and seen that the angle is right, the angle works out, and that you've got this
well, then there's the umbra, the penumbra. There's a whole bunch of issues that have to be just right, you know? Like, it's just the sun and the moon are just happen to be the exact same size and blah, blah, blah. And
these are pictures.
The umbra is only 70 miles wide.
No, this is a video.
Oh, this, because I do some time lapses of the moon. And oh man, I mean, you can see a lot more of that glow in those time lapses, which is pretty cool. In other words, you can kind of make out the craters, even though it's not in the direct line. I mean, you can make out the terminator line, but the craters are actually visible in a time lapse when you're doing that, and I think that's pretty awesome. And I hear what you're saying. I don't think it's Earth shine either shining back up on it. I think it's the angle of the light that's still hitting it, but our cameras are picking it up on on the proper settings. If you've got it set with the proper settings, you will still pick up that light. It's that, you ever go out, after the sun departs and take a long exposure picture of the horizon, and man, you look at the picture and you're like, wow, look at all the light still in the sky compared to what I can actually just see with my eyes. So that light's there for a long, long time after the sun departs our view.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, have you learned how to use the long exposures on your P900?
No.
Oh, dude, it's awesome.
I tried for the first time in California to do a star trail, and so I did one of those, but that's about all I did.
My P1000, it has a life setting on the long exposure where it can do, like, I think it's almost 2.5 minute exposure on a life. I think on the P900, I think the longest you can do is 30 seconds, but you also got to look at your f-stop too. You have an f-stop which will make it lighter or brighter, and you use the OK wheel to set your f-stop, and then you use your just below the on and off switch, there's a dial. You use that dial to set how many seconds you want, and you got to be in the manual mode. And when you turn that dial, you'll see it going into all different settings. But you can even go to really fast, quick flashes. And I use the quick flashes for taking pictures of the nebula in Orion's belt.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow, man, I'm telling you, here I'm getting these awesome pictures of something that's supposed to be 2.6 light years away. I mean, come on,
You say that like it's far or something.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think we'd ever be able to pick up anything at that distance.
No freaking chance in hell you're picking up light from 2 billion light years away, whatever. No chance in hell.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's like, how big it would have to be in order for you to pick it up, and how bright it would have to be. I mean, we should be looking up in the sky at night and it just be completely blue.
All white, yeah. We should be seeing all white. That's all.
On it. Yeah, That's the same way with if Earth was spinning. Can you imagine what the water would be, how the water would be reacting? I mean, you just try to carry a bowl of water, that's full, try to walk across the room with that bowl of water, I mean, any little bit of movement reacts to that water, put 1,000-mile spin to it, and I don't care how big the Earth is, it's still 1,000 miles an hour.
You're preaching to the choir, bro. You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, but these are things that you never think of as a kid, and even as an adult. Before I even looked into flat Earth, that never crossed my mind. As far as, wow, they tell us the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. How is this working? You know what I mean?
Travis says it best. When I was young, I used to believe in Santa Claus, but when I grew up, I don't believe in Santa Claus anymore.
Yeah, we used to believe
just the way it is.
Funny too, right?
Right.
And the fairy tale leaving us money when we lost our tooth.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, not to make light of the situation, but come on, man. I mean, you believe you're traveling at these fantastical speeds and you're not gonna feel anything. No, sorry, it doesn't work that way.
Well, remember when they built that Chinese dam, over in China? They said that, that because they used such a large amount of concrete and they held back so much water, it knocked the Earth off its axis by like 1 degree.
Wow.
And I'm like going, wow, if that's the case, wouldn't we all felt that? I mean, all across the world.
Perfectly said, bro. Yeah.
Or how about one of the earthquakes that happened? They said, it threw the Earth off its axis by 2 degrees. It's like, wait a minute. Why didn't we all feel this? Because it's all bullshit, man, and they keep feeding us bullshit. And as long as people keep believing it or just accepting it without questioning it, man, we're just making ourselves dumber and dumber and dumber.
Yeah,
Love those pics there, Travis.
Travis has so many pics, he doesn't know how many pics he has.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, you know how I feel then, because I got 4 years of it.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
That's why you guys should be talking, man. You, Travis, and Ranty should do a powwow.
Oh, I wanted to talk with Ranty for a long time, man.
Well, you know, David, I think maybe if you go on to Discord, you'll have a better chance. I've gotten a hold of Ranty faster on Discord than I ever have on Skype. So that might be a better avenue for you if you wanted to take a look at that.
Are you on Discord, Wide Awake?
No. I don't go on many. I mean, I do the Hangouts. I've done a couple Hangouts. But as far as you know, these live streams, and I don't even think I had to download this Zoom. You send me the link, I click on it, and it took me right to it. I don't think I ever downloaded the Zoom.
Well, maybe it's been a while since you were on Zoom and you had to download it once before, because it's taken Sky Free quite a while to get this going. So hopefully he or she, I'm not sure which of them is going to be in. Maybe they both will, which would be cool.
Well, there's 3 of them. I think it's husband and wife and brother-in-law.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find some interesting stuff for us to kind of just poke around at right now.
And, you know, that's something that we all need is, you know, I mean, if we could get people in our own areas to work with us. And, you know, like I had one guy, he kept saying that he's going to get with me. He even moved down here to Florida. And, you know, it was kind of, I got to say that I got an apology, because for like a year and a half, I've been on such a negative mode. I let things get to me too easy.
Yeah.
And it's my own damn fault, because I let it get under my skin, which I shouldn't have, but I did. And it put me in a negative mode. And, you know, I know that turned people off from watching some of my videos, which is very understandable. But I don't know if you watched the one video. The lady was talking about this new prescription called "Fuck It All."
Yeah.
Well, I got some of that, man, and I'm doing great.
Yeah. That was a funny video. That was good. All right, let's see. September, October 2008 now. You know, when I want to find stuff, I can't find it. Here we go. Sky Free has entered the building. So Sky Free, just look in there and get your settings and unmute yourself, and you should be good to go.
Is he there?
Well, wait. Yeah, it was really, really humid today. It was not enjoyable to be outside, so I did not stay around for very long.
Did you see my little driveway videos I did?
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. As I drop my camera down, how you can see how that light is just diffracting off my driveway and just wreaking all kinds of havoc on all the objects that I set on the driveway. It's pretty neat just to see how just the light reflecting off the objects really do obscure your visibility. Oh, that's sweet right there, Travis.
I know. Listen, this is oops. In my opinion, what we're seeing right now, what in the world? What we're seeing right now is the conditions for looming.
Yes.
That is, I'm seeing farther than I have been able to previous because of inferior miraging or serious distortion. But you can see this boat right here is compressed. That's a quality of this condition.
Yes, yes, I agree.
And later on in this video, have some fantastic ghost ships out in front of the Red Roof Inn, and they just look like these worms that are zipping across, and they are all the way across I
called some of mine inchworms, man.
Yeah.
They were so compressed. They just look like long, skinny sliver worms sliding across the screen.
Yeah. But, like right... Let's see if I can go back. Speak up, Sky, if you're there.
Hello.
Hey, hey.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Sean, welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you guys?
We're fantastic now that you're here, man.
Good, good. Nice meeting you, Sean.
Nice to meet you, David.
Hey there, Sean.
Hi, Essie. How you doing?
Good, bro. Good. How about yourself?
Doing well.
Good, good. Welcome.
Thank you.
So what I dig in this image right here, I think if I went back, you see where my cursor is? I think that this is either a crane or some other bird. I have this early morning shot, and I think it's like a 19-minute video, but you've just got this wavy image. I think this is like 4 miles away, and you've got this bird right here. It's just I've just got some beautiful shots out here.
Is this the Chesapeake?
Yeah.
Nice.
So right here we've got this boat, and then to the left you're going to see another boat come out if I stick around right there.
Yeah.
Right there. And then here's another one right here. See how
compressed they are.
Yeah. But the really incredible footage that I have from this is there is a channel marker on the other side that I shoot back, and it's a number 5 channel marker, and I have never seen it from this vantage point, and I got it at the very end. Here's the red roof right here. I'm gonna try to orient. I actually just saw it. It's right there. So that is about a quarter a mile away from the shoreline over there. So, you know, we've got a shore-to-shore observation right here. I've got the marker that's right here that I've never, ever been able to get. And these are the conditions that I am going to say and suggest are right for what is considered looming. We are seeing farther than what we typically can. And it's 100% due to refraction. That's it, absolutely.
Agreed.
So yeah, listen, let me give you some. Oh, there it was. That was a really cool.
Yeah, but you have to agree with this. If that was not within your line of sight, it would not be able to loom.
Correct. Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like it's being pulled up behind anything. It's there, but it's just so small on your normal days you can't pick up the information to see it. But on this particular day, it is magnified, so you're able to see it. It's like my markers up by those 3 islands north of me, and the landmass that sits behind it. It's there, and then on the days that it's looming, I actually see it because it's pulling it closer to me.
Yeah, I mean, the kind of detail it would take to log these observations is enormous. But like just right here, you can see this boat that's compressed. So not only so if you look up Andrew Thomas Young, and I'll have to do that as well for myself to refresh. But I don't believe that he includes compression in his description of looming. For him, looming is the displacement, is what he calls the vertical displacement. That is, this object is not normally seen because of curvature. It is vertically displaced. That is, basically, it's brought up at a 90-degree angle.
I disagree with
yeah,
that.
it's incredible. It's incredible, this stuff that we have to rewrite. But anyway, just take a look at this boat right here that's right underneath the bow of this boat. I'm going to push play. And then I'm going to sneak over here because I just saw it. So we're going to try to catch it. And there it goes. It's just this little tiny worm.
Yep. And on a clear day of visibility, you would see that perfectly. But it would be smaller.
And then look at all these boats that are camped out there. I've never seen so many boats out there. We got Mark Doxey. There's another one right there. See that? Mark. Oh, no. No, it looks like he dropped.
Thanks, Cleary. Or Cleary.
Cleary.
I keep saying Cleary. Cleary.
Yeah.
Hey, Travis, what was your viewer height that day?
I do my best to describe things, even though sometimes I get tongue-tied myself because of these, trying to work these combinations into, to the explanation is really tough to do.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. This says September 21st, so I would have been at the spot that I normally set up at, which is the shoreline. So I'm gonna say I was 5 foot.
So
nice. And you said about 4 miles?
No. This pavilion right here is 5.8.
Okay.
So you're getting into your cooler months in September, right?
Well, yeah, it just depends on what the Indian summer does, but yeah.
And well, I'm like you. I don't really worry so much about the water temperature and air temperature, but because I'm so used to living in Florida, I know a lot of times, you step into the water on a hot day, it will feel colder, even though if you put a thermometer in it, it's only off by maybe a degree or two from the air temperature.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I've been in water to where, like the Weeki River, it's like 72 degrees all year round. And you go up there in the winter months and get in, you don't want to get out of the water because the water's warmer than the air.
Yeah, and that's why I'm such a naysayer in this discussion when the globe flakes say, you've got to take the, what were your measurements? And I say, look, there is absolutely no way 5-6 degrees is going to make this kind of difference that you're talking about.
Yeah, you're right.
And then even today on Jose's show with Rumpus talking about taking the lapse rate where you're standing up to at least, I think he said 15 feet, 20 feet above you. He's talking about there being such a variance in that lapse rate that is what causes. And I'm sorry, but the simplicity of how incredible that would be, because you're talking about it's like today was a windy day. Today was humid. Today was windy. There's no way that you've got a layer above. There's no way that there's a layer, a bona fide 3-meter layer sitting above my head that's static. No way.
Right. I agree. And I had a day one time in July. Matter of fact, it was right before I got my P1000. It was like the last time I used the P900. It was in July, and I had some of the best visibility I had ever gotten. Number one, it was windy. Number two, the water and the air temperature were about the same. We had hot water. We had a hot day. Very little humidity. It was dry air that was in our area, listening to the weather report. But it gave me such a crisp visibility. And then I've been, I was 6 foot off, or had my tripod 5 feet up, a few feet up off the water. But then I've been up on top of that little observation deck on a extremely low tide, which gives me about 15 feet. I'm assuming, because it seems like that. But I zoom out to those Hernando Beach Islands, and they all seem to be floating. And then on other days, I've taken my camera at 28 inches and zoomed in on those islands, and you can see the islands in the water perfectly. you can see people walking on the land, walking in the water, walking up on the land. So yeah.
Well, that's exactly what Heath Carmody had in one of his videos that I mirrored the other day. He's got a fantastic inferior mirage, and you can see the people walking down to the beach. It was beautiful. And then two of them picked up surfboards, and I used that for my thumbnail. It was just incredible, the stuff that he got for that. But just real quick, Mark Doxey, say hello. Or not. I saw him pop up, and then I shut that window down. Let me see if he's still there. All right, he's still listed as being in the call, and he's in Ireland, so this is late for him. So he is pulling in some late night owl time. What I'm trying to get you guys to see real quick, if I can get a nice clear shot, is this. If you can see this thin little rectangle right here.
Yes, I can.
Yep.
It. I think that it's a platform of some kind. I've never seen anybody standing on it, but I have it to where it's as high as the dark band back here.
Wow.
So you've got a lot of compression right here. And I couldn't even find it yesterday when I went out and shot past this spot. I keep looking for it. I do have a file where I put, every time I find a video that's got it in there, I stash it in that file. But listen, guys, this is shore to shore, okay? These conditions are very, very rare. This is a late in the evening, like tonight before it was going to start at 7 o'clock. I was like, maybe I should put the show off for a half an hour and get out there and shoot. But, you know, the dusk time has been probably the times when I've seen the farthest. And I'm telling you, I would not see these boats when there's an inferior mirage.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's spot on. That's what we've observed.
But they're right there. They're right there. You know, and so this is just distance and perspective.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yep, nothing getting pulled up from behind any curvature, Danny D.
Yeah. So now you've got this boat that I'm tracing right here. Now, what I did notice, I think, when I started going across right to left, is that these aqua bands here, you could see them changing their depth.
You know where you get some of that, though, too? Is areas where the wind's blowing across, because I see it all the time in Florida, where you get one smooth area, and then you get the wind ripple, and then another smooth area. That's just the wind whipping across the water. Rippling up some areas, but smoothing out others.
Yeah.
Especially the depth of the water plays a role in that too.
Well, even think about this. So I was out shooting with Adam and Derek, and they were on the...
That's some awesome footage right there, by the way.
Thanks. They were on this side of the Chesapeake at the lighthouse, and I went across to the other side and shot back. And they had my mirror for the mirror flash, and the wind blew it over and broke it. And they're like, "Oh, Travis, we're sorry we broke your mirror. The wind blew it." I said, "What are you talking about? I have no wind over here." So 7 miles away, I had zero wind. You're going to tell me that doesn't have a dynamic effect on what's going on in your observation?
Oh, most certainly
Right.
it does. Oh,
Right.
yeah, I say that all the time, that the wind does play a role in it.
And you can see the reflection. Now this is where I would say this right here is a reflection off the water. This is a reflection of this boat at the right angle of incidence. You can follow it. If, you see it going on right there?
Yep.
In that dark band?
Well, here's the thing that I'm looking at right now with this, is the clarity that you're getting of this. Now, can you imagine having even a little bit better visibility, what you would actually see?
Yeah.
You would see even more detail.
Yeah.
And this is where, when we see something that looks like it's being cut off by the curve, usually there's, again, a lot more distortion, or obvious, there's something occurring that's the mirroring that's causing this object to be cut off. Because I've had boats like that boat that was real close right there, look cut off.
Yeah.
At that distance, you know, because of the heavy mirroring.
Yep. Definitely. And the thing that I've pointed out too in this discussion is that we've got a very specific degree of viewing angle here to the shore.
Hey,
and
look how much bigger that marker is than all them homes over there too. It must be towering over those houses, right?
I know. Yeah. I got this great shot. I'm gonna have to remember to go into the footage that I got this last month. I have a sailboat that passes in front of, and I'm within like maybe a mile and a half of the island, and the sailboat completely blocks the lighthouse that's behind it. But so many, just so many fascinating. I love this. I mean, I'm in love with this just for the sake of art itself. I think this is very.
You mean perspective works?
Say that again, Essie.
You mean perspective actually does work?
Yeah. But I just mean also in terms of just the beauty. Like, no one can see where if someone were standing next to me, they would not be seeing some of these images, right? They couldn't resolve them with their eyes. So I'm seeing things that people can't and don't. And over to my right, I don't know if I pan over there with this shot or not, but there's my Monet shot. If you guys have seen me do any of my Monet shots.
Hey, Travis,
yeah.
This is another reason why, too, when I'm at Pine Island and I have somebody come up and they, kind of ask me a question, or what am I doing? And I say, you see that boat out there? And they're like, what boat? And I'm like, right out there. And I'm pointing where my camera's pointing. They're like, no, I don't see a boat. I said, well, look at my camera. They come over and look and they go, oh, wow. I said, yeah, that's over the curvature of Earth. They're like, no, it ain't. And I was like, well, by science it is,
Right.
But I've had people look at my sun videos and they're like, wow, that's not what I'm seeing with my eyes. And I said, I know, because I've got the light cut back and you're actually seeing the true sun, not the glare of the sun. And they're actually surprised of how much different the sun actually appears in my video compared to what it does with their naked eye.
Oh, yeah. What you just said is so important, bro, for the following reason. Most people have no clue what the model states, and once you show them like just a little bit, I'll give you an example. When I took a picture of Jupiter, right, with the 4 moons, I was explaining to the wife what Jupiter is, and when I told her it's a ball of gas floating in a vacuum, she looked at me like, what? I go, well, yeah, that's the model, right? What? You mean it's a ball of gas in a vacuum? How is that? I go, that's what I've been trying to tell you all this time.
Yeah, it is called.
They don't know, bro. Yeah, they don't think about it. Like, you learned it in high school, and you put it on the left side of your brain, but people haven't really done the calculations. It's funny.
Well,
Very
when
true.
you start going back and you start questioning these things that you learned as a youth, right? All of a sudden you start saying, well, wait a minute, that really doesn't make sense now. I'm not, I'm gonna have to rethink this. And then when you start rethinking it, and then you start doing your own little research into it, you start calling bullshit, right? Because you're like, there's no way that this could be happening. I mean, like this boat right that he's showing, you are not seeing that with your naked eye.
No. If I panned out, you wouldn't be able to see it. Sean, let me ask you, because I said this today earlier, and then also in the video that I started putting together today. What was it that made the connection for you about your scale on the micro and the macro? Because I think that is absolutely crucial, absolutely key. So how did that click for you?
Well, I think it started actually with Phuket Word, if that's how you say it.
It's Phuket, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Phuket Word.
Yeah.
just his observation over the bridge back in like 2016 or something.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I think Good Times for All as well kind of started doing some indoor observations in a warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I've just always been interested in scale, and I just thought, from our viewer height of about 2 inches, would there be obstruction over this small pond I'm looking at right now? And did some calculations and found that we could basically simulate a level surface and see what results we'd get. And it's, turned out to be pretty similar to what we see on a large scale. So, yeah, I've been researching for about 3 years, just kind of studying refraction and learning about, the different types of mirages and
are there any
particular
Are there any particular sources that you would recommend?
Sources that I recommend in terms of
refraction and just the data that's there, or would you just say to someone, you're going to get an adequate source of information if you just do just a basic Google search and just look for stuff and just do cross-referencing and comparative reading?
Well, I'm actually currently going back to school to get my degree in atmospheric sciences.
Really?
And
wow.
Yeah. Not in a way that I think I'm going to, I obviously know the propaganda that goes into all of it, but I just want to challenge myself to kind of, show that I can get my degree in this and still have the view that it's not necessarily correct.
So were you going to go into that field prior to, or did you make...
my interests all started with flat Earth. Like, before I was just kind of just going through life believing things that were taught to me, and flat Earth just kind of inspired me to test things, and so the interest mostly came from that point on.
Yeah, that kind of me too. It did spike my interest when I tried to debunk it.
Yep, exactly.
Now you see that that layer with the boats going over it, where you see the different color of the water. That is where I say that's like light diffraction right there, and that is kind of making it very difficult to focus in on the lower hull of the boat. It's light reflecting off of that water because of your angle of resolution that you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
And I see this in a lot of my video too, where at a certain point you start seeing that haze layer, and I think as like say if you had a heavy mirroring, that layer right there is going to become the mirror, which is actually going to start displacing things. In other words, it's going to displace itself up higher, cutting off more of the lower portions of everything that's on that horizon line right there.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
I heard something earlier concerning looming.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Travis. Did I hear one of you guys say that looming makes the horizon appear further or closer away from the observer?
I think David might have been being a little bit more specific than I was at the time. If David wants to touch on that.
Yes, it can magnify, and when you have a magnification, say that there's a boat on the horizon, right? That magnification magnifies the object 360 degrees around it. So if it's magnified up, it's magnified down too. When it gets magnified down, it's actually getting its lower portion cut off by the water that is there, that is visibly seen.
It's a little bit abstract. Even I have to stretch my brain on this. I really need visuals.
But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't looming make the object appear to be higher?
Yes, it can. It can also do it displace. And I think Guy Free talked about on that on one of his last videos that these atmospheric conditions can cause objects to be displaced.
It just seems to, just differ day to day. Like, you never know what you're going to get, basically.
Exactly. And, as somebody said to me that I was at a disadvantage because I live in Florida, and actually I look at my location as being really kind of an advantage because of all the different, spikes in humidity, and then we get dry air that comes in sometimes, and then we get the rainy days where you get the cool air with the warm water, and then in the winter months is when I get my best visibility usually, because we have the water and the air temperature equaling out, plus we get dry air that comes in, which gives me some really, really beautiful visibility to be able to see that Cutter's Rock bird rack that, you can look on my navigation map. They all say about 14 to 16 feet tall. How can I be seeing that at a camera height of 28 inches? That would be impossible on a ball Earth. I think I did the math on that, and it would be like 56 feet below the curvature of Earth.
Wow. So then, right. So then if you do the math in those situations, you would have to specially plead, I think, that it's looming. But I don't. I think
we're conflating the term looming here, Travis.
Okay.
I hate to nitpick.
No, that's okay.
But doesn't looming mean that it makes the boat look like it's floating in the air? Are you guys talking about stretching? Maybe.
No.
No.
Let me pull up one of my pages with Andrew Thomas shown. Hold on. All right.
Because you guys seen that famous picture in the behind the golf course when there, I think it was the English Open.
Yeah, I have that picture on my phone. Yeah.
Isn't that what looming is?
No. Well, because did you see the contrast image where the guy just took the levels down in the photo itself, and you could see the water?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It appears that just the sky is miraged, giving the appearance of the boat floating. Look, I'm new to this. I'm just telling you what I heard.
No. You're asking all the right questions, and I don't pretend to have all of the answers. But here's his section on looming. Okay. And this is some of the recent stuff that I did on my readings in refractions for the coffee soaps this week. Okay, so it says looming is one of the simplest of all refraction phenomena.
Thinking.
They are they are simply abnormally large, and I'm going to harp on this. I don't know why you want to call it abnormal. It's not abnormal. It's perfectly normal. Why? Because it's natural. It's what happens. It might be infrequent, but that's not the same as abnormal.
Good point.
Okay, so they are simply large and small refraction. Again, I think that's very ambiguous. I'm not happy with that. Oh wait, so what this does is there is a constant density gradient in the lower atmosphere, which produces only a vertical displacement. So, okay, let me just finish. Only a vertical displacement. Yep.
Yeah.
Of distant objects, which then does not distort the object. Okay? Looming is just an exaggeration of normal refraction. Again, this is all gobbledygook to me. This is absolute meaningless. Looming is an exaggeration. Okay, I know what that word means. Of normal refraction. Okay, I don't know what that means. Produced, and he doesn't give any. He doesn't have like a link for what normal refraction is. Produced by a steeper than usual decrease. Those two things to me don't.
Steeper than usual is La La Land. What's usual and what's steeper?
Okay, right. In density with height. Okay, so here we go again. When refraction increases, the apparent elevation, that's the vertical displacement, when it increases the apparent elevation of distant objects, often lifting above the horizon things normally below it. And by below, it means on the other side.
Yeah, and I definitely disagree with
Definitely disagree with that. Now, I have communication with Andrew Thomas Young right now, and I emailed him and I said, hey, great work, blah, 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 love your stuff, blah, blah, blah. I said, don't you think it would be helpful to have actual photographs of looming?
I was just going to say that. Shouldn't there be a picture, an actual picture?
Yeah, I find this very troubling for me.
Like the golf course, for example, picture?
The giving the diagrams does not present reality.
Okay, because like I don't see triangles, over the water or whatever this is. This is not a realistic picture. Anyway, but the idea here is this is looming, SE. So the proportions are uniform, right? Because he says it doesn't give you any distortion, and it is so like what he ought to probably do is draw another triangle down here in shade to show you where this actually is beyond, and then all that looming does is it lifts the object up so you can see it. Now the problem with that is what I was explaining before with David, is that I think that there are other
Wait, before you go on, Travis, are you saying it's invisible and somehow looming makes it visible? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, which
right.
to me is what I was saying before. It would have to be in your line of sight in order for any optical effect to occur. I mean, if it was just barely sticking above the water, right, then yes, it could loom upward, but it would still be the same object. I mean, you wouldn't be seeing any more of the object. It would just be being stretched above it, the same size, but again, it's just stretched and made bigger. And I've seen it vertically and horizontally too, by the way, Travis.
I've seen it both ways.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to jump in, and I mean, Sean, if you want to jump in and say anything, the last thing I'll say right now for the moment is that what we don't have here is we don't have an extension of the horizon beyond. We don't have a black swan photo, right? So that's the significance of the black swan, is that you have the horizon back here.
Yeah.
So if you think about the black swan with Blue Marble Science, where he says, on a flat Earth, you'll never have the horizon in front of the object, right? So the control picture that they have, that they want to show you is, here, this picture, we've got the horizon. So imagine, if you will, the two platforms. There's one right here that you can see in full. This one is cut in half. Okay, so that's the horizon, cutting it in half. And then in the other image where you have both the platforms visible, you don't have a horizon here in front, but you have a looming back here. So even within, I think, their category of looming, they are addressing something that A.T. Young doesn't bring up. He doesn't bring that up. He brings up only something that is on the horizon. And I think that if you have things in different depths of view, that's really going to screw you up. And that's what, for me, has shown me that this is not an adequate entry for information. So let's go down to syncing. Okay, so here's the opposite, SE. So let's say you go out one day, and this is what I've got with my Gina platform. Okay, so here's Gina in full glory. I don't know if it's looming or not. One day I'm just taking a picture and there she is. But I go out tomorrow and only the top I can see. Now, what Andrew Thomas Young and these guys are going to say is this horizon and this horizon are the same. No, sir. No.
Yeah,
sir.
No way.
No, sir. So this is where I'm coming into play, and I'm calling this proximate looming, because it's actually lifting the horizon up to block this.
Yeah. That's one thing I don't understand is Globers never consider the horizon being lifted to block an object. For some reason, that can't happen.
Yeah, and that's all I've said a couple of times. I've said, look, would you be willing to consider? And they're like, no. That's impossible.
This is logical, even with perspective. The hallway vision thing, you can envision that easily happening. I mean, it's the looming part that I have problem with here.
Well, again, the looming is only the object beyond the horizon. Okay, so again, as far as I'm going to say right now, as far as I understand it, that both of these horizons in the image are the same. They are the same location. They have to be. They have to be. So
right, it's not the horizon that they're saying is changing. It's just the object being lifted up.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. That should be easily. They should be able to demonstrate that pretty easily. And I've actually never found that recreated in real life.
So how would you guys explain the British Open boat floating in the air? How would you explain that?
Let me see if I can pull it up. Go ahead.
I was just thinking, is it not an inferior mirage, an extreme inferior mirage, or?
See, mirages are inverted. There's no sign of inversion there.
Yeah, let me watch that video.
And mirages are also duplication, right? There's no sign of duplication there.
Okay.
That's where I come in as well. Here it is. Let me save.
There she is. There she is.
Let me save.
Beautiful.
This.
Look at that.
Yeah, I've seen that before. Actually, that's interesting photo.
So I'm gonna go
like
to my.
Travis said, somebody changed the contrast on that.
Yeah.
And then you can start seeing the actual water.
Well, you can see the aether band in the image.
Yeah, but it's.
Where am I?
It is a very strange photo. I think it's the sky and the water are just so equally matched right there.
Exactly. It has to do not with the boat. It has to do with the sky. You picked it off, bro.
Well, the light too. Light, angle, light. But I actually, in that picture, I can see the water line, and I see water going beyond that.
Yeah, you can see
you can clear
the horizon.
You can clearly see it. Yeah.
So again, this would be where I have okay. I'm trying to think if there's something.
This is supposedly looming, right here.
Well, I don't know that I've seen anybody use it for that, but the question would be, this is like the Flying Dutchman, okay? So imagine if you were 20 miles away from this, and this was, because of perspective, lower on the ground, but you had the sky mirrored underneath it, right? Because you've got this, you can't tell at 20 miles, it looks all like sky, but right here is where the band or the duct, right? So that's Alfred, I think Alfred Wegener's term is, instead of a band, he's calling it a duct, and that's where this phenomenon happens. Now, like you said, Issy, like you said, there's no mirrored image, but there is refraction, and yeah, it's so interesting.
Let me explain it this way, Travis. Let me explain it this way. We know the boat is not floating in the air, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
We know the boat is sitting on the water, the blue part on the bottom there, right?
No.
What do you mean no?
Okay, well, okay.
Where's the boat sitting?
Hold on, Essie. Maybe I misunderstood you. Go ahead, David. Go ahead, David.
Real quick, click on go up to where it says light and click it.
Click this?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Look at there.
Ooh.
Do the same thing with the color too. Do the color.
There it is. Yeah.
Oh.
There it is.
Do the color.
That's what I'm talking about.
Click on the color too.
So it's obvious that the sky is reflected downwards, making it appear.
Okay, so you're ask your question again, Essie, because like I said, maybe I misunderstood what you said.
Okay, where is the boat? Where is the boat? It's not in the air, right?
No, it's on the water, but I personally, I think it's being displaced upward a little bit.
I could even see the horizon where it is.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, this is
right there where you're right below your cursor. Like,
yeah, right
there. That's the horizon.
Yeah, yeah. But this is what I've said in all of my comments. Even if this was an inferior mirage, what I've said is if I could wipe this away, this picture would not wow anybody. You know why?
No, it wouldn't.
Because it's on the water.
It would just look like a boat. It just looked like a boat in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, Travis, I actually agree. Like the ether band, whatever you want to call it, you can you see it right there. That's what that line is.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't there, you would just see the boat out on the water. It would just extend on a more clear day.
Yeah.
And you had more lighting to the camera when you took the picture, and you wouldn't even see that that line there.
Yeah.
The ether band is acting as a reflector here, Travis. Yeah. Let's put it that way.
Right.
It's reflecting the sky
without inverting the ship.
Exactly. There's no inversion here. This is not a mirage. This is looming.
Did you know those settings were in there, Travis?
No, I've always slid this one bar up here.
Well, I'm glad I showed you that.
Yeah,
yeah, because you can do some really neat stuff, even with the clarity. The clarity works really well too when you want to clear something up.
Yeah, good stuff.
But now another point: the boat is pretty clear, right? It's not very disoriented or stretched or.
It's not distorted.
It looks regular, right?
That's actually good visibility day there.
Yep. But this is a beautiful picture.
But now, how would somebody say that boat is being? I mean, anybody that says that boat is being pulled up above the curvature would be crazy.
Insanity, yeah. Insanity.
But that's
insanity.
Yeah, but that's what they say. So again, that's what I was trying to depict with. If you were on a ship on the ocean and this ship was in front of you, you were 20 miles away and you saw it floating in the air. That is how you would, I would say rather, that's how the image has been interpreted. Because you see the water line. You know that's the water line. You know that's where the water ends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know that ships don't float, so it must be, and then you just make up a story.
Yep. And this is a perfect example how to put them in their place.
And I always say this too. Could you imagine if these people from even the 1800s, if they had the technology that we do with these cameras, or I mean, just think about Galileo if he had a B or a P1000.
Oh man,
yeah.
History would be different.
Yeah, so
I think all history would be written a lot different too.
Yeah, so here's the point that Rakia just said in the chat, that the boat is much closer, is much more proximate to us, which is true. So what that means is that if this boat were not really there, and it were beyond that horizon, which is technically 3 to 4 miles away, 5 miles away, depending on how high you are, right? That boat would have to be being magnified. To be that big, because again, if we're going to put distance between us, then that boat should be smaller.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. May have a point there. Yeah.
And the other thing that I would love is where's the rest of this footage? You know what I mean? Where is this guy's file? Like, did you take only one shot?
Like this guy knows his stuff.
But that's true. And instead of taking one picture, did you do any video? Because I'd love to see the video of it.
Right.
You know who I suspect that is, eh? Some professional PGA Tour photographer who took that picture.
Yeah, and he probably didn't have a video capability.
With $1 million camera.
But hey, I was watching this one video where it was a Globe guy that put it up, and he kind of was what he showed kind of favored flat Earth in a way, because they showed the guy taking a picture. And in the background was a couple of boulders. And then when he took another picture, I think with a wider angle lens, the boulders looked bigger. They looked huge compared to the person themselves. In other words, it seemed like it pulled the boulders in, made the person look smaller. Now I don't know if it was different settings or a different type of camera, but it definitely was. I mean, they showed two pictures taken from pretty much the same distance away, but the boulders look bigger in one than the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wide Awake, I feel like, I mean, you capture that all the time, just different days from the same location and completely different results with magnification, sizes of objects and everything.
Exactly, Sean. I mean, and your micro, footage that you're doing is awesome. I mean, you're showing the mirroring, the miraging, the distortion. I mean, you're getting it all, and that's what made me go out here to my driveway and do, well, I was already doing some of my gutter tests, but you really inspired me to do more on that little micro level than actually going out and doing the videos over water, because it was something I could do at home. I don't have to travel anywhere, and I can get the same results, and then I can compare them to my boat footage. And like I say, with yours, you match up some of this stuff perfectly with the boat footage and your micro footage.
Yeah, I mean, thanks. I appreciate that. And yeah, just watching all you guys over the years, Plain Truth, Wide Awake, I've definitely watched you guys for years, and just noticing how well it matches up is, a pretty cool find, I think.
Speaking of Rakia, you guys say it's in the chat. I can't see the chat. He has some cool, very nice pics too on the water. Shout out to Rakia.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so what I'm going to try to do real quick is pull up for you guys. I know that I'm.
Hey, you're doing some CGI there.
On the oh, that's on the YouTube page. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, what are you talking about? I'm doing CGI. Then what do you mean?
Well, I'm watching the top screen, and you got a oil rig, and you're moving it around.
Oh yeah, that's on the YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, that's on the YouTube.
Oh yeah, well, you know what? Hold on, wait a minute. Can I share that? Maybe I won't have to worry about that. Hold on, let me change my screen share. How are you seeing that? Where are you seeing that, Dave?
Well, I got two screens. I'm watching the stream, and then
okay,
on top, I'm watching the YouTube.
Okay, so I'm going to try to share this screen with you guys. Okay, so can you guys now see the screen that has Sean SE?
Yeah.
Okay.
See it, the platform?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So this is the same location. Let me try to see if I can pull up the other.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to work a program like this. I'm an idiot when it really comes.
Well, it's taken me a bit of time to get around to it too. But
you could give me the best CGI program, and I'd be sitting here picking my nose with it. Wouldn't be able to figure shit out. I'm a very impatient person.
Yeah, me too. Me too, big time. I would rather someone just walk me through and tell me how to do it than research it for myself. Damn it! I can never remember where I put these files. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the original shot that I got. Yeah, it's not even here. What file am I thinking of? Hold on. There it is. Here it is.
Are you looking for the stooping one? I think I've seen you do this before.
This is stooping here. Okay, so you guys can see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is January 28th. This was the very first image that I caught of Gina. Now, normally at this location, Gina is about like this. Not full, but higher, right? Higher than that. So this is how I'm used to seeing Gina, is up this high. Now, the water, there is going to be an inferior mirage at the base. So it's not all completely a one-to-one correspondence. So don't misunderstand me. What I'm trying to say is that let's just pretend that that's the normal water line. and right here she's cut off. Okay, but I'm
sinking, not stooping. I misspoke. I'm sorry, Travis. This should be sinking.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Stooping is when it's compressed. You're right. Okay, but nonetheless, what I'm saying is that I normally have a full body shot of Gina, right? So imagine the day that I got this, and I was like, what in the world is going on? So all we have here is the top rigging, and we have an inferior mirage right here. And I didn't notice that until I blew it up. But there's a clear inferior mirage that's going on right here. And so then what I was showing before in this video, okay, Gina is right here. And again, in these conditions on this day,
yeah, look how hazed out that is.
It's hazed out, but you can clearly see I've got the same shot.
That's what I mean about light. Light obscures our visibility too, right? I mean, it's obvious.
And the waves are a lot more active. The other one, I believe that the waves weren't as active that day. Yeah, but I mean, just so in my mind, this is what I've called proximate looming. So how is it that this platform can be obscured this much? And that is that the
Travis, let's be clear here. Are you saying on a clear day you see that right there, what you're showing?
Yep.
The whole thing? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I would have to go back and find each and every image, but more often than not, SE, no, the image is going to be at least this much above the horizon, and down here at the base, it's going to be irresolvable. It's just going to be black. So
you're saying at the same height,
yes,
same distance,
yes,
you see different heights of the water. Let's be clear.
Yes.
But the only thing different is the day. Right?
Well, not only the day, but also the conditions.
I mean the conditions. I'm sorry. The conditions.
But you see how much farther down it's pulled in that picture, where you can see it in the background, right? You see it back there, but it's pulled way down.
So because this is the opposite of looming, Gina should be right here, but she is being refracted down, and I'm saying saying no. I'm saying that's incorrect. The water is being lifted up.
Refracted up, yeah.
That makes more sense.
The water is what's being displaced.
Correct.
I feel like it can go either way depending on the day, but in this case,
yes, exactly.
I could see that. I could see the horizon being refracted up more in this case for sure.
Well, one thing is certain: if he's at the same place always, at the same distance, the effect is visual. We can agree on that, like number one.
Well, if your water, if that water is being magnified, right, it's raising that water up. Now, if the water's being magnified, well, isn't the sky being magnified too? So that would be magnifying the sky downward. So in other words, what you're doing is you're pinching everything off.
Yeah.
See, we have two effects here. We have Travis's ether band, call it refraction, whatever you want. Then we have perspective too. Let's not forget.
Yep.
Which makes the ocean go up and the sky come down, whatever, right?
Right.
So we're working with multiple things here.
Yeah, it's not just one effect. But when I was first shooting this, I didn't even see that. I didn't even notice that until I watched the video over again. And because it was moving across, I saw the rigging move across the screen. Otherwise, I would have missed it.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right, Dave.
All right.
Let's see if there's anybody in here that hasn't said hello. Aaron.
Yo.
How's it going, Aaron? You're here with Skyfree Sean. SE is here. Wide Awake. And, of course, yours truly.
Awesome.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. How was
Good.
how was the weather in Texas today?
Today was nice. Mid 80s, no humidity. Nice breeze. So.
What? Captain Joe Mama is going to be taking Brian Stavely out on the boat tomorrow. Wow. So Stavely must be out in California. I went out at the wrong time, I'll tell you what. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean...
You know what I notice a lot, Travis?
Yeah, go
Nobody
ahead.
talks about? Maybe it's just me because I'm new.
Oh.
I notice a lot of heat haze when I do visuals.
Sure.
I don't hear anybody talking about that.
Yeah, that's definitely a factor, for sure.
Well, we saw that with the Chesapeake Bay footage that I was showing earlier. Even though we could see the boats out in the distance, there was compression there, but there was also heat haze.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen heat haze at 50 degrees.
Yes, that's what.
Yes.
We've said that as well and seen that as well.
That's, to me, that blew my mind.
Yeah.
Blew my mind. But here, look at this, gentlemen. So right here, this is the top of Anacapa. This is a 220 miles.
20 miles. Wow.
This is a 200-foot tall island.
Mm-hmm.
These two vertical lines right here, this is the lighthouse. Okay, look, this is an inferior mirage. You got to cut that bad boy in half.
Yep.
You're telling me, and again, SE, same location, same observer height, and I can show you hundreds of images where I've got the full-blown lighthouse.
That's the trick. It has to be drilled into their heads. This is a visual effect. Visual. One day you see it, the same spot, the next hour you don't see it. The next 2 hours you see it again.
Yep.
That's the important thing.
Yep. And that's what, it was so simple, guys. I was like, this is done, I'm done. But then when I would go and talk to them, and they would just fight me, and it was actually really, okay, just a little bit of openness. I had, I'm gonna like open up this counseling session all of a sudden. Okay, there's a line in a Ben Folds 5 song that says that you had me thinking I was the crazy one. Right? So that's the gaslighter. The gaslighter makes you think you're the crazy one. And so whenever I would take this stuff and talk to ballers with it and say, look, this is so simple, guys, they would come at me with such vehemence that I was doubting myself.
That's their whole game, is to make fun of you and hope you go away.
Right.
But that ain't going to work.
Right.
We're on to your game.
And is that Brian? Did Brian join the show? Or was that Japheth? I think Japheth or...
Yo, that's me, Japheth.
Yeah. Good to have you, man.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Good to be here.
Sure. So, yeah, guys, carry it on. Carry the conversation. If you want to show anything, let me know. We can share the screen.
What are you looking at right here, Travis?
This is platform Gale. This is platform Gale. She is the only one that will do this, guys. I did this the other day on one of my streams. Let me see if I got... I don't know if I'm going to have to refresh.
Back. I hope I didn't miss much.
I'm going to have to... Yeah, we're the show's over, David.
Well, I got 3 dogs, and my older dog, they get their goodies at around 9 o'clock, and she comes out here and starts nudging me at 9 o'clock.
Right.
To remind me that her goodies are due.
All right, we got noise going on. Somebody just flushed the toilet, if I'm not mistaken.
It wasn't me. I don't have an outside bathroom here.
Don't forget to wash your hands.
All right, so let's pull up these platforms. I'll show you in a second. Yeah, but this is going to be one of those observations that I would have to do. I would have to set a team up on, because this is the only platform that gets cut in half, and it's almost on a constant basis. But if I don't know if I do that in this video or not, but I have other videos. If I keep panning to the right, the other platform doesn't.
Perfect girl.
Yeah, she's out there. The other platform to the right does not do this, but they're relatively only a mile farther than the other. So let me pull this up real quick. So that is platform Gale. Let me close this down. Okay. Maybe it was a sliding door that sounded like a toilet, because that sounded like a toilet again. All right. So if I'm looking here from Emmawood State Beach, or Rincon, or no, that's Emmawood, and I come out here to Gale. Hold on, let me drop this down to miles. Okay, so she is 12 miles away. Gilda is 9. Grace is 11. So if I were to pan from Gale over here to Grace, Grace is just about 2 miles closer. You're going to have a completely different okay, so if she's 13 miles away and Grace is 11, so there's just two. You're just 2 miles closer, but you have a full blown exposure of the other platform. But I can't figure this one out. This one blows me away, because I've got the visibility on this day isn't great. You can't see the island behind her, so there's nothing really good to contrast with the island. But I've had images of the island floating in the sky with an inferior mirage. But you can see the inferior mirage right here. So, oh, you know what? So here we go. So we actually have. Let me move this up so I can slide the timer down. So if we've got proximate looming with Gina, right? So Gina is cut in half here. Trying to find it now. Yeah, right there. Oop. Okay, there's. Give me a second.
Are you still screen sharing?
Am I?
I'm not seeing the video.
Oh, huh.
The footage.
Okay. Sorry about that. How about that?
You're good.
Okay, so you didn't even see what I was showing you, Sean. When you said what are we looking at?
Well, I saw all that, and then at one point it had cut out.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm not sure why it cut out, unless I accidentally hit something. Okay, so if we've got proximate looming right here, and this is Gina. Gina is 13 miles away here. Gale is 12.6.
Yeah.
That's not... Okay, so Gale is closer. Gina's there. The thing is, talking through, we've got proximate looming, so you've got the surface of the waters being loomed up, and then when we get down here to Gale, she's only half a mile closer, but you still have the same conditions. So this is still being loomed up, and you've got an inferior mirage. So the reality that's if you could wipe away that inferior mirage, the water should go up to that spot as well. But you got the island right here. You can see the island right there. Let's see what happens after this. I don't know if I pan farther over to the right or if I go back and forth. I'm not sure. But those subtle nuances, because I would have to go back on a day when it's not like this and see how those two platforms are different, because there's just a half a mile difference between the two of them.
Right.
Which is what, 4 inches?
Would the Globers call this video a bad refraction day?
I don't know. They would bitch at it just because there's distortion in the image
Is
itself.
the video from Travis?
Yeah, right. Where's the source?
Guaranteed.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I was watching Miles Davis. I'm like, no one's balling this guy out for such, and I don't care, because I see this. I have the same images, so it doesn't bother me that he's producing those kinds of images. But it's just the double standard. This is a tanker ship.
Some miraging.
Hours and hours and hours of watching this stuff, trying to catch things. Japheth, was there something you wanted to bring up, or anything that you wanted to contribute?
Not in particular. I went back to that live stream that you had going the other night that we were on with the animation of that coffee cup caustic, and just kind of been thinking about trying to get Stingray to, or I emailed him asking for that file. And from when I checked yesterday, he didn't send it yet. So when he does send it, I'm going to try to see if I can make an animation using that coffee cup caustic. And
yeah, I'm going to have to watch that back over again.
Where'd you pull that up from? Was that straight from YouTube?
That wasn't me. That was Alexander Lightwater.
Gotcha. That's his channel that it was on?
I'd have to go back and look at my history. I think I opened it in YouTube, so I would have it in my history, so I'll have to go back.
All right.
So what's interesting right now is we can see more of this tanker. When we first saw it, there wasn't as thick of a band on the top of this tanker, so either it's gotten closer to us or the band has changed its constitution.
Yeah, has that like where it looks like it's sitting above the water?
Right, but you can see right here is the mirrored reflection of what's right there.
Oh, yeah.
And then down here you've got this little hiccup here that's from this.
See, so, I feel like that could not be a mirrored. I mean, I guess it could just be an atmospheric effect, but couldn't it be just the reflection off the water close to the boat that's reflecting, and you're picking it up over distance? It's just coming in as this, up and down like you're saying, but it could just be the mirror of what the boat is on the water when it's close to it, If
anybody else wants to chime in, you can go ahead. I have a response, but I don't want to hog the response if anybody else is there.
Just thinking of different things it could be.
So when I first was making these observations, my initial thought was that it is the water that was mirroring, and I actually found one of my earlier videos where I'm talking through it with myself. The thing that I would say, Japheth, is that we have the sky right here.
Yep.
So
yeah.
So the sky is not being mirrored on the water. So and so if you have you have to cut this boat in half long ways, again, because that's an inferior mirage. Yep. Regardless of whether or not it's the water, that doesn't matter to me right now. It's an inferior mirage. You have to cut it. You have to cut it in half. Okay. So if we didn't have any boat here, you would think that you were seeing sky, water. Except right here where my mouse is.
Yep.
That is a mirage. That's all a mirage. That is not the sky. All across the... So That's why it was helpful for me to understand, okay, I've got a mirage here, and this is moving laterally across, so it's staying in the mirage the whole way. So it will be going into this arena in 2 minutes, and it's going in, the mirage is there the whole time.
Yeah. So it's gonna go away. You got it on video where it's gonna.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what happens with this video.
Okay.
Dave Rakia, are you there, man? He signed in a couple seconds ago, so we'll see if he says hi.
I see. At first, for a long time, I always thought when stuff looks loomed up like that, sometimes I guess in my mind, when I'm not reviewing and taking my own photos, I'm just reviewing a lot of stuff, but the way that the water kind of comes up due to perspective is that things could be seen in the distance, but then the land, you can't make out the land, but you're making out what's on top of the land above it. You ever kind of see that?
No, say it again.
So like where those towers are, right? Or where that is, if there's land there eventually, or even if there's not, the ground is shrinking in resolution as every time you go farther away, those spaces are being made up into, like, let's say smaller pixels. You know what I mean? Like right in front of you, 10 feet is probably more pixels.
Oh, okay.
Then far away, another 10 feet is probably a small amount.
Okay.
So then the ground is like making up the resolution, and then you would see things above it, but you couldn't make out all the ground smushing it together, as the resolution is drawn backwards.
We got somebody who's got a hot mic. If you're not talking, can you go on mute, please?
Your information is being all crunched right there.
All right, so let's go back real quick because it is gonna. Okay, so right now this boat is closer to us, and it is in front of the horizon, so it is not in that mirage.
Yep.
Okay, so in a second we're gonna move across the screen again. All right, so here comes the tanker. All right, so there's the tanker.
I see nearing.
And the tanker, if the shipping lane is consistent from how far it has to be off the shore, this is 13 miles away. Okay, so right now we've got the island just starting to show. And this is not to scale. This is not close to scale. Because this is the top of the island, and it's in an inferior mirage.
Mm-hmm. Now, you took these videos though, right?
Yeah, this is my stuff. Yeah.
So was it kind of humid out?
No. This was California. It was very dry. This is January. It was probably 60s, in the 60s. It was a very nice week in terms of temperature, but it was overcast for the majority of the time.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, had it rained recently before or after this?
No.
Usually overcast gives me good
I know. That's why I call bullshit on some of those statements, especially when Rumpus says it. Overcast days are the best days, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, you have no clue what you're talking about.
Sometimes I think it has to do with that hazing, though.
Yeah.
There has to be something out there that's creating that haze, because it's very obvious that there's, everything in the background is hazed out. So either there's some high evaporation rate going on just above the water surface, which could be possibly causing this effect that you're getting right now with this tanker. Obviously mirroring, though. Obviously mirroring way out on that edge.
And it's getting larger to me, and we can see a little bit more of some differentiation between these containers.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't get to film these big ships like this. I have to rely on fairly good size fishing boats crab boats, shrimp boats that go out. Now, some of them are pretty good size, but nothing like a tanker. Ain't nowhere near a tanker.
Yeah.
Hey Travis, do you have any footage of a day where maybe those islands are more visible?
Oh yeah, you bet.
I want to kind of compare them.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's like my Hernando Beach Island. Sometimes they, hell, I've been there to where you couldn't even see the islands at all, and then other days, I mean, obviously you see the entire island. So where did they go? They didn't fall down behind the curve, right? I mean, they're only 4.884 miles away.
Well, in their model, the curve is what moves. The horizon curve shifts.
All right, so this is one of the contrast videos that I show. Oh, this is the second part of it. This is where it's already at the island.
Oh, wow, look at there. Yeah.
Oh, that's a boat heading. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. Oh, that's the same island?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Wow. Look at that. Look at
and
that.
That's the same amount of zoom from the same spot?
Oh, I wouldn't be able to tell you what the zoom is because it all depends on how large the image is and what the quality of the medium is. Depends on whether or not I need to try to get in for more clarity, or if I can have enough clarity from beyond. So what? Let's see if I can see something.
You use autofocus most of the time, right, Travis?
Yeah. That's pretty much my default.
What's that? Is that a cloud or?
No, that's an extension.
That's crazy right there.
Yeah, that's an extension.
So the whole mountain that it keeps going there, it's just you can't see it.
Correct. So yeah, so there's more mountain underneath this right here. And however this inversion happens, because normally on an inferior mirage, it comes out as a lesser than sign. This is a greater than sign. But
I mean, I guess that's how the Earth is shaped over there.
It's different in California. They got ripples over there.
Yeah.
But you can see right here is the band. Right here is the band. If you follow this along, that's exactly where all that stuff is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that pretty clearly.
Yeah.
But that's not even the horizon. The horizon's at the peak of the mountain.
Well, for the mountain itself, right? That's like a terrestrial horizon there, sure. Now, this is the arch. Okay? So, I'm going to show you the arch that I got when I was there just last month.
Are you still trucking, Travis?
Yeah, but I have the weekend off, so this is a close shot of the arch, just to give you a scale idea. I don't know why it keeps doing that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So the water clearly has a lot to do with this mirroring effect.
Well,
and even the atmosphere. I mean, I feel like maybe it's a mix between atmosphere and the water that creates this, because like that hole and all that behind there, that atmosphere of the sky and mixing with a reflection of the water is what creates all that disappearance, where things just disappear completely.
Now, I've heard people say that they could see that with their naked eye certain times of the year.
Oh yeah. Look at this. This was a really good catch. These two buildings right here are the only two buildings in Oxnard. And this is 15 miles away. So you've got another example here where you've got the land that's, there's probably, I think, about 3 or 4 miles of land between. So it's from where I'm at the island, I would say it's 11 miles to the shore, and then another 4 miles to these two buildings. So we are not seeing, the shoreline. But let me get to a better picture of this. Not platform, but arch. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here's what this island looks like, and we tried to line it up pretty much with what we should be seeing in trajectory. Okay, so you can see how big this lighthouse is. Remember the image I showed you where all we had was the very top of the island, and the lighthouse was there, and the lighthouse was an inferior mirage. So you got to cut the inferior mirage in half. All of this island was missing in that shot. Okay, so here you go. You've got the island right, or you've got the arch right here. The arch is 40 feet. And here it is up in the air. Now, in my opinion, because this is the same band that was started all the way across at the northern part, all of the activity is up here. This is all mirage. This is all mirage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
so
I agree with that.
So if you wipe that away, you would see the water go all the way up to the arch.
Is it just me, or is it also smushing it together horizontally? Because the beginning of that arch and the other thing that's there in the other photo, it looks farther apart.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's why there's not just one effect. Let me get to a better...
You see that?
That's interesting. How that... wow. How much of that is missing?
Yeah, there's a lot where it's basically crushed, like smushing everything together. Yeah. I guess also horizontally.
And then look, when you look at the crisp picture of it, it just all the detail is there. Where right there, there's not a lot of detail.
Okay, so now here's another image here where you've got the lighthouse, but now you've got the arch down on the water.
Wow.
Okay, so, and then here's this boat here, and this boat is in front of the horizon. Try to find that
again. You can't predict
no,
what you're gonna get. It's just insane.
You can't.
Which direction are you facing there, Travis?
This is gonna be
west.
No, this is gonna be southwest because this boat is heading west. So then, south is gonna be more left. So this is gonna be more southwest, I would say. I suppose.
What comes to my mind as I'm watching these, Travis, is that Skunk Bay. Whereas you watch Skunk Bay, everything rises and compresses, compresses, rises and compresses.
Yeah.
And that's what I see kind of going on with that archway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Imagine if we could afford to put a camera out there that just went for 24 hours, or all the daylight time, or even have an infrared, where you could really get some good shots 24/7, for a month or so, and then just put it all together in one long like a time lapse or sped up.
I don't know if I can do this.
Just watch all of the changes occurring.
Let's see if I can flip between these. Hold on.
This is why when Stingray presents his 1 degree over 69 miles with the ship coming at you, that little model he made, that's one of the things I said about it is that you have no atmosphere or
the lighthouse
or
yes, it is, David.
Any conditions involved.
Yeah, I know. He doesn't listen. I've said that to him 1,000 times.
How out that is compared to that. I mean, the lighthouses themselves.
Wow, look at how stretched the lighthouse is there. It looks huge.
Yeah. Big difference on
looks
that.
Like the Empire State Building.
Right.
So to me, that's all magnified. So it's being magnified big time. So it's being drawn down and the water's being pulled up.
And this is the same scenario. This is the same conditions for Gina when she's over here to the left, and you can only see the top rigging. This is the exact same day.
Is that a video, Travis, right there? Could you zoom in on that?
No, it's a photograph. I can zoom in on it. If that's what you mean. You want me to zoom
No,
in?
because that's just going to show the pixel. I didn't know, like, is as you zoomed in and out, if it changed, the size.
Oh, I see.
The size of the magnifying or anything. Like if you zoom way in, if it's still magnified the same.
Okay.
Now look at there where the lighthouse was.
Yeah.
Look at this. Just all you got to know is the incredible amount of distortion.
I mean, just look at it. I mean, just look at if you make the horizon the same. This is the same setup right here, same angle.
So again, it's always like what I say, when you have crisp visibility, it just crushes the globe big time. I mean, it just flattens it out like a steamroller.
I mean, no matter how you scale this, if I tried to match up the lighthouse up here, you raise the water level. If I try to make the water level the same, imagine if you put this boat in front of the lighthouse where it's at here, because this boat isn't even on the horizon. You'd have to put this boat right here.
Yep.
And it would be up this high.
Yep.
And then look how small the lighthouse is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so strange. Is are the islands supposed to be below the curvature, according to the globe?
I think that if they're not, it should actually look like it did in that image I just shut down.
Yeah, well, the arch would be below curvature.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Roger,
see, that's so backwards.
Went to some mathematician guy or something and asked him, well, then how come we can see this on certain days, if it's supposed to be below curvature?
Yeah, so this would be, oops.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out of here for a little bit, guys.
All right, Jeff. Yeah, I gotta wrap up anyway. We'll probably wrap up in the next 20 minutes. But
sure. Appreciate you.
Thanks for being here, Japheth.
Thank you.
So let's say we didn't have the inferior mirage. Let's say we had the water all the way up right here. Then that would be attributed to Earth curve. Yeah. And all they would say is, okay, what's your viewer height? How big is this? And they would crunch their numbers, look at the picture, and put an equal sign between the two. The problem with that is that I have other images where that doesn't match up, and if it's going to change because of refraction, then why isn't it refraction right here? Right. But if I were to say what this island should look like if there were curvature, it would be like this. Except for the problem that it's so big. Because this is 20 miles away and this is only 55-foot high lighthouse, I would say that it should be very much smaller. So it's not even to scale.
That's what I always talk about too, Travis, is when you scale it, it doesn't look anywhere near what it should.
Right. And that's more often than not, when I see those images, that's my immediate discernment. This is not to scale.
Yeah. So on the day that the island, the clear picture, are the Globers asserting that that's looming, or
no? They don't interact. Like I said, there's nobody here tonight. Nobody showed up. Nobody showed up to have a discussion. They all want to just ball out on Jose's show, and not show up here to have it. Here's another one where I call it an obscure. Okay, so here. You know what? Here's the video. Is this it? Hold on.
To bring that back up, what he just said about when you do show them something that's very clear, they don't have an answer for it. They will reroute or go off on a different subject. They won't want to address that actual picture.
All right,
because I mean, how can they to keep their model?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
We can get some of these same. I mean, what matches their stuff is usually the distorted stuff, where it does look like it's cut off. That matches it. But when you throw them that perfect picture of perfect visibility, that's where their tongue gets tied.
Right.
So the image that I showed you before with Gina cut off, this video is 40 minutes later. Same location.
Now, is this toward the evening?
No, this is 1 o'clock. No, because I didn't change my time. So what's one? This is 11:10 in the morning.
Okay, so this is a morning shot. And sometimes you do get some good visibility in the morning.
So I'm just panning left to right.
Nothing at all.
I haven't seen anything yet. There it is. There it is.
Yeah. Oh, there. Yep.
Oh.
Super large.
Wow.
Yeah, totally. This is 12 miles away.
Yeah, that's huge.
Wow.
That is magnified.
And look, you can see the waves. You can see the waves that are right in front of me. You know, those waves are probably like 100 yards away. And then you've got So what I would want is to get Captain Joe out there as close to this horizon as I could. And he would be dwarfed by these. Look at how ginormous these are.
Yeah, those are like monster.
It's huge.
And I was just looking at my first video that I did with the P1000, Travis, on the Hernando Beach Islands, and they look humongous. And then like 2 months later, I got footage of it where it's like so much smaller, but there's more detail. And again, you can see people walking on the shore. I mean, it's like, what's wrong with this picture? There should be something cut off, but there's nothing.
Yeah.
I like this place in California that you're filming at. I mean, that's a beautiful place.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Let's see. We got a lighthouse boat horizon here. Let's see what this looks like.
Could some of that haze be pollution?
I don't know that I would classify today that we're looking at as a high pollution. A lot of the time, right here at this level, almost consistently even with your naked eye, you could see that there's almost like a pocket. The island, like when I was there this last month, for the entire 2 weeks. These guys were like just this magnet for I wouldn't call it pollution, but it was heavy fog, it was heavy cloud, and it was just sitting right in the same spot the whole time, all the way across. It was horrible for doing what I wanted to do.
Yeah, because I got footage from last night where I had this line of haze going in front of those Hudson Beach condos, and that was really causing a pretty neat effect with the mirroring.
And you could
last night I had some hellacious mirroring, and I got some really killer pictures of the condos mirrored out.
Yeah. Now, to me, I can kind of catch the band up here every once in a while. And if you haven't seen, I don't know, Sean, if you've seen my other footage where I have the band that goes all the way across the sky, and then it fills in. Have you seen that?
Oh, I was watching that one.
More recent?
I've done it a couple of times over the past few weeks, but I can pull it up right now and show you. It will. Yeah. Have you seen it, or you want me to?
I'm not sure. Go ahead and pull it up. Let me check it out.
Yeah. I think it'll be very impressive. So guess what I have to do right now? I have to try to remember where I have it.
That was impressive. Matter of fact, I was trying to explain it to myself after watching it.
Yeah.
I didn't catch your live stream, but there's a lot of times I do watch your stuff. I just never say anything because.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Dude, I don't know what it is. I say something on a channel, and the trolls just seem to like magnetize to me, and they just come in with insulting remarks to me.
No doubt.
And it's on like if I go to Phuket's channel, I mean I make one nice comment to him, man, and I've got 4 or 5 trolls chewing on me.
Yeah. You're just the troll magnet.
I guess I am.
All right, so I've got duplicate images here. I got to get rid of these, but I've got 4 different sets. This is 26 minutes, 12 minutes, 6 minutes, and 6 minutes. But this blew me away. Okay, so you've got this line here, and what I thought originally was that this was a mirage. This dark band was the mirage itself.
Yeah.
But as you go across, you've got this bird right here mirrored on itself. You've got in the land, this right here is mirrored right here.
Yeah, you can see that.
Okay. So all along, I don't want to stop every single time it happens, but you'll just notice the top. Right there is duplicated. Right here is duplicated. Okay, so now we've got a band. The band is thickening. You've got the top of the island right here. You've got this reflection here, which is okay. So this part right here is the inversion of whatever's up here, plus another one. It comes back out again.
Yeah, and look at that stretching at the bottom. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now, in my opinion, this would be labeled as towering.
What do you mean by towering?
It is a vertical displacement of the object. So this is, in their world, this is not where this is physically. It's down here, and it's being
projected up.
It's being stretched up.
Right.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
This is some crazy footage.
SE was here the first time I showed this.
And I'm wondering if it isn't more stretching down than up.
There's your band, bro, right here.
Yeah, wide awake. I'm with you on that. It's hard to tell. It's hard to say.
Yes, yeah. Because I've seen it. I've seen it both ways on one of my racks. But I said, wait a minute. You know, is the rack rising, or is it just in one place and everything below it is shrinking down?
All right.
And not being magnified.
So let me give you a leading question and ask you, based on what you think you know, how would you interpret what you're looking at right here?
Almost like Fata Morgana.
Fata Morgana.
Yeah.
Okay. Sean?
Almost,
But not. I don't think that is, though.
Yeah, I don't know what I would classify it as exactly. You know, that's actually a pretty unique, some pretty unique footage you have here.
Right. So over here to the right, it was thick, and now it dissipates. Right. So my question is, what's going on here, out there? Right. What's going on that keeps it from? And then there it starts up again.
You mean it's not standard?
It's not static. It's not standard.
No, it's...
yeah. No. I get it. I know what you're saying. I'm just saying that there's so much that it's not. So what we're going to see...
You mean
Go ahead.
If I was to ask you the temperature and this and that, you wouldn't be able to tell me, like, exactly on that given day, the standard refraction?
No,
Right.
To me, it almost looks
They're
like...
dreaming, man.
It almost looks like clouds, you know, just above the water right there, where the white is. It looks like, you know, like a haze that's just blocking out, like fog, almost blocking out the lower portion, and what you're seeing is just the top portion. I mean, that's not probably what it is, but that's what it appears like.
Yeah.
So right here, over to the left, both the top and the bottom start to reach out to each other, almost like a magnet, I would say. You can see them just starting to fill in.
Oh yeah, this is interesting footage here, Travis.
This really is.
This is why I would want 3 or 4 cameras, because I would want to stay right here on this. Look at this part filled in. See that?
Yeah, it's changed completely in a matter of minutes.
This band is now dropping down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's clear that the band, you're not seeing through it. Let's establish that. Right?
Yeah.
Whatever that is, you're not seeing through it.
Yep.
Because when you see the old platform, it's like Travis says, it's like a mirage there.
Okay. All right. So, gentlemen, right now we're seeing the sky. We're seeing the sky being eaten up, right? So if I were to roll back the tape, you'd have a thin band up here and a solid band of sky all the way across. But now the sky is being swallowed up. So I'm saying that because in 35 seconds I want you to see something.
It's amazing. Right here, we have a visual demonstration of obstruction. I don't know if you guys realize that.
Oh yeah, that's definitely obstruction.
Okay, gentlemen, a few minutes ago, this was sky.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I want you to do in the next 6 seconds, just look off center here. Just kind of keep your eye just a little bit off center. Did you see that?
Yeah. What was that?
There was a splash right here. Now, it could have been a blow, you know, a dolphin, a whale. I tend to think that it was probably a pelican diving down to get something.
Don't lose this video, Travis.
Oh, don't worry about it. But what I'm saying is that was sky. That was sky a moment ago.
Yeah, that's water.
Yeah.
That's water.
So as we move back toward the platform, okay, never mind. I'm going over to the island.
Wow.
Okay, so this is this is the height. This is the height of that band.
Wow.
Yeah, you really can see it. I mean, it's pretty clear.
I have something similar to this in those in my 3 islands to the north of me, but it's like above the landmass, and it does look more like the Fata Morgana effect in mine, but this definitely is not Fata Morgana in this, because otherwise you would see this rig upside down too.
Right, exactly, right.
Yeah.
Now, if I showed you this image by itself, you would have no problem understanding that this is sitting right on top of the water. So, if we were to roll back the tape, and you would see the feet, that's what I would suggest, is that was a stretching down.
Yeah, exactly.
So we were always looking at the actual height of this platform. The water was
You're
always
saying this is the actual height right here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And whenever we didn't see the water going across, that's the actual horizon. Watch, I'll go all the way back to the beginning.
Okay.
So I think
some is being hidden in there though, at the bottom, because I do think you'd see more of the underneath structure. And I'm only saying that because I think some of that is being obscured by the distorted water line that's right underneath that oil rig. But yeah.
So everything there would be some crazy amount of compression going on up here.
Oh yes.
But I'm of the mind. My suggestion is this is the actual horizon here. But if this band were not here, and all you saw was this and this, you would interpret this as the actual horizon, and then this is being towered. Yep. This would be towered. So towering is not a raising up of the object. Even if you don't have this here, if I show you another picture of what you think would be towering, and you do not have this refractive distortion on that day, that still means that the actual height of the platform is up that high, and it's being refracted down, not refracted up from its actual position.
Think about a slinky, and you're holding it in your hand, and you let it go, and it stretches down and then stretches back up.
I mean, look at this.
Down and back up.
This is why I say man can't tell me where the horizon. Like, you can't ever figure it out.
Nope.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
It's always an optical illusion.
What's going on, Dave?
Exactly, optical illusion. That's why I use all the time.
You know, because if I showed you this picture now, you would have no problem just saying, it's all water. It's all water.
Yeah, it's definitely a visual effect. That just proved it right there, bro. That made it undoubtable in my mind.
Yep. I've always known it, and I've seen it. I've never recorded it like this, but I've always known it, and it's just an apparent water line, right? And that's why I'm not a huge fan of the black swan. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what happens?
Nobody can tell me.
What happens at the end of this is the mirage comes back. Oh, you know what? Watch this, guys. Keep an eye on the rig right now, okay? I'm going to go back in time. You see it dropping?
Yep.
The whole landscape, the whole aquascape.
That's freaky,
The whole aquascape is raising and dropping. My camera.
Notice how it's never coming forward or backward, though.
Yeah.
So it's only going up and down, right?
Yeah.
Because I heard them say many times, "Oh, it loomed." Oh, really? It loomed 14 miles back the horizon? Really?
Right. So we'll wrap up with this. Right here, this red is a boat right here. So in a couple of minutes, you'll see it. It'll move. It's behind. It's on the other side of the platform. You'll watch it go across and then move across this and just go out. And
yeah. Erase that water line right there and put sky, and then you would be able to see the oil rig. You can see the oil rig under it right now.
Right. Okay, but
in front of the oil rig, right there where your cursor is that like a reflection of the sky or something? What is that?
This is the mirage. Because you've got water.
Rig?
You've got water.
But how come it's only there?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Well, here's my
out, man.
Here's my thing on why you're seeing that, but you're not seeing it underneath the rig is because that water line right there is being distorted, and that distortion or even magnification is hiding just that little portion underneath the rig, but you're able to see its reflection in that line of water. If that makes sense. I mean, we don't see it, but this water sees it.
Sure. If that's the angle of incidence, sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Angle of incidence.
So you can see the little bit more of the ship that kind of comes in with the sparkling whatever. I'm gonna go for it. Here it goes. It's moving behind now. So it's going behind the rig, and then just watch when it comes out right here.
Yeah, I've seen this one before. This is cool, man. Watch how big it is.
There it comes right here. There it is at the top.
Yeah.
There it goes right here. Look at the trail right there. Look at that trail. Isn't that crazy? Tell me you can science that.
That's freaked out, man. I know what that is. That's the invisible force field.
You know what I mean? Tell me you know what just happened right there with
That's priceless, man. That's priceless right there, bro. Again, don't lose the video. I will kill you.
Yeah.
Like the boat one. That is awesome, man. That is awesome.
But
Yeah,
what you do is you go back and you download this.
Well,
you got your own
See,
copy.
this happens all the time, but we don't get it videoed,
I
right?
know, dude. I know it's happening right now in California, and I'm missing it.
Exactly.
Rakia has a killer shot of that disappearing boat. That's priceless as well.
Oh yeah, I love it. It was fantastic. Absolutely gold. Absolutely. You bet.
Now let them explain that.
Nobody wants to, man. It's been out there. They don't care. They absolutely do not care. And in my opinion, the fact that nobody showed up tonight, nobody showed up.
Look,
except
they
for
have some pictures where it appears that the boat is going over the horizon. Yes, we're not saying that doesn't appear, but look at this. Look at this stuff here.
And then
There's
look
other
here.
explanations.
Yeah, there you go. That.
Oh, look at that, bro.
That's
Much
what
more
we
clear.
should have been seeing before, and that's what I was saying was that distorted water line was blocking out that little bit of lower portion that was being mirrored underneath in that little gap that you saw.
Is that the same location, Travis? Same height and everything?
Yep. This was all within the same. This is all within the same hour.
Wow, you should do a capture before and after, side by side.
I know. Look at the flame coming out, dude.
Oh yeah.
You see that?
Oh yeah. Now tell me that's not a visual effect. What we saw. Tell me that wasn't stooping. What we saw and sinking.
Yeah.
I mean, look. I mean, it's as clear as day.
And that was a combination of multiple.
Yeah. That was a kamikaze. That was a kamikaze mirage right then.
Yeah, Heinz 57.
Oh, this is nice, Travis. You gotta capture. You gotta do a side by side. This is the bomb.
Well, you know what? You know what happened? My schedule for work got changed up again, and I don't start until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm gonna have my mornings open. So I'm gonna just pouring myself into this. I'm just gotta be putting some stuff out. So I'm gonna try to finish up my imitation. Well, it's not even an imitation. The Sky Free inspiration that they gave me in terms of trying to put a video out that expresses what what I've come across and what I'm thinking. So I'll have to try to have that finished up tomorrow. But Sean, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you stopping by. Great to talk to you. And make sure you aren't a stranger, and come by and show us some stuff that you guys are working on. Oh, I wanted to ask you. I went to your Spotify. Was there only one song? Is Sean here still? Nope.
I thought he was still here.
No, he dropped. Something must have happened. He's got a Spotify, and the one song on there, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. So they've got a Spotify account. It's under the same name, Sky Free, and it's just one video. So, all right, guys, I am gonna wrap this up. Dave, thanks for stopping by. David Green, thanks for stopping by. SE, as always, pleasure for you guys. And yeah, it looks like
thanks for having me, Travis.
Yeah, thank you.
And Travis, hey, I'm gonna be putting together from the time I got my P1000. I'm gonna be doing. I'm going to go back into all my files and pick out each day that when I got pictures, video, and/or time lapses of those power plants, and I'm gonna just do a bunch of little videos for each day, so people have something that they can look at and compare to too. Because I think you'd be surprised on the different visibility and the effects that it gives you throughout all of them, because they're all different, and some of them are taken from different angles and different heights, but not that much. When you compare them to the 30-inch heights, it's crazy how much better visibility I get at a lower perspective than at a higher. Yeah. I think I'm getting underneath some of those layers that are obstructing us.
Oh, yeah. Save that video, Travis, so you can show it on Jose's. The platform and the blurriness. No, seriously, this is something tangible, Travis, that you can show. They keep saying blurry images. Okay, here's the blurry image and here's a clear image. There you go. Seriously, bro. Cool. Good night, everybody.